Hello everyone, welcome back to True Footy Live. We got one in the chat, welcome. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, Happy Boxing Day. I take it towards the end of the day where you guys are at the moment. It's just gone 10:15 in the morning here. It's good to see you all. I'm currently watching the end of the Stars and the Sixers game. Although I feel like I'm going to switch over. Why? I hit the Scorchers versus Renegades and it's come up with the Stars and Sixers game. But that actually looks like a pretty good game, to be honest. It looks like the Stars might actually get an unexpected win. But hello everyone. Say hello in the chat if you're here. Wasim is just smack one down the field. Yeah, KO is definitely only showing the Sixers Stars game at the moment. That's weird. But Perth are playing the Renegades today. It's weird. They're already having a rematch after the last time I did this stream where the game was called off because of the pitch. So they're already playing again, which is kind of odd. There's a lot of teams we haven't played yet. That's cool. Renegades have been a bit disappointing this tournament so far. It has to be said. Compared to at least like what I thought of their squad at the start. Which is odd. But that is the way the BBL goes sometimes. So yeah, for whatever reason, I'm stuck watching Stars versus Sixers, even though the Scorchers game should have started by now. Yeah, weird. I know that the Renegades are fielding. Mr. Footy Card says go the Scorchers. Agreed, mate. Well said. I got the lineups here. I'll just quickly have a look at those. So we got Crawley and Connolly, Hardy, Inglis, Evans, Hobson, Agar, Richardson, Ty, Barrett. Have we gone unchanged? Yeah. It looks unchanged to me, unless I'm missing one though. The Renegades do have DeCock, Clark, Fraser McGurk rather, Nick Madison, Sean Marsh, John Wells. That is a deep batting lineup. It really is. It's a good team we're playing today. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. I feel like Sutherland has had a fairly solid start to the tournament. 18 off 2 overs they need. G'day Daniel. Crawley the GOAT. Yeah, he was amazing in that first game. For some reason, it's still saying Scorchers Renegades when I click it, and then it's going to the Stars Sixers game, so I'm trying to work through that at the moment. Is everyone else watching the actual Scorchers game? I guess not everyone's watching it on KO, but maybe they are. You got 7 in the chat, guys. Welcome. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. Say hello in the chat if you're here. Okay, it looks like I'm just going to have to watch the end of this game before it flips over. Stars need their first win, says Superhero Rises. Yes, welcome back, mate. They are. They're looking pretty composed at the moment. It's about time. It is such an unpredictable tournament. But they have been poor up to this point. There must have been an earlier... Oh no, wait, this is the earlier game. Man, I'm still waking up, clearly. Yeah, we had a few days, obviously, no Big Bash. I don't think there was a Christmas Eve game. Just the test on Boxing Day and then 2 Big Bash games. So, an explosion of cricket after a couple of days off. How was everyone's Christmas, if they celebrated? Mine was good. I just spent it with my roommate's family. Let me know as well if I'm coming through all right. I know the last time I did this, we had a bit of bad luck on the first stream. Looks so far so good. Oh, Wasim's gone. That's a good catch. Simple catch, but... Well, it looked simple, but wasn't completely simple. Oz versus Pac, India versus SA, Stars versus Sixers, Perth versus Renegades. What a day to be a cricket fan. Yeah. I was keeping an eye on the India-South Africa series. It looks like on Cric Info. What's happening here? Like, the game still hasn't started, but it was meant to have started. Cric info hasn't updated. Anyway, I'm just going to quickly look at the South Africa-India game. That looks like a pretty good test so far. Centurion, I think the first test is. So 79 for 3. Kohli's at the crease. Hopefully it'll be a good series. Did I hear as well that India and England are playing a 5-test series? Is that right? I don't think I've ever heard of a 5-test series outside of the Ashes. Nandre is a great name. Yeah, they were 24 for 3 at one point. Wow. Kohli 29 not out. There you go. So, I need to... Jonathan Merlot. Hope he's not whining. Am I right? Guys? Anyone? Yeah, Australia-Pakistan, that is on at the worst time for me, time zone-wise. It's from midnight till about 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., however long the game goes for, the day. I'm sure it was already stumps. But they only had 66 overs today, so... I presume there was rain or something, but 187 for 3. Interesting. India versus England is a 5-test series. But am I crazy? Am I wrong? Is that like the first one outside of the Ashes? I've never really seen that before. 11 off 8. This game is tight. It definitely does appear that the game has not started, the Perth game. Oof, good Yorker. Well hit in the gap. Nicely timed. Oh, well fielded. I don't know if he got there though. I don't know if he touched the rope. Strange. How's everyone's Christmas? I know we got a few people in the chat. Been a little quiet. That's all good as long as you're here. If he saved 2 runs there, that could be match winning. You still back the Stars in from this point. So, yeah, he has saved that, which means it's 9 off 7 needed. Hey, the Usher's in the chat. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. Hope you had a good Christmas. I'm not crazy to think the Scorchers game just has not started, right? I feel like I'm missing something here. Cric info start time is usually like the moment the first ball is bowled. Eight off the last over. Cartwright on strike. Yeah, okay. So they just alluded to the fact that it's going to go to the Renegades next. So maybe I just started the stream a little early. That's all right. Surely they're not just delaying the start of the next game because this one isn't finished. That's weird. But YOLO. Oh. Dwarshus to bowl the last over. None for 18 of 3. I feel like he's had a good tournament. I'm not 100% sure. There's always 5-match series between India and England. Fair enough, man. I didn't know that. Last happened in 2021. Interesting. That's cool. The more the better. In most cases. For big countries. 4 or 5 is ideal. So good dot ball to start, but you still think Cartwright's like 2 big shots away from this game being over. He's let go of the bat and it's gone for 4. Great shot. Is this game at the MCG? I feel like it's not. No, it's not. It's I feel like it's in Sydney based on the boards around the ground. We've only seen the narrow shots of the ground. Yeah, it's definitely not the MCG. Ralph playing BBL instead of the Test is interesting. Yeah, he got into a little bit of heat for that. A lot of Pakistani players are in this tournament. There we go. That's the game, isn't it? Yep. Cartwright smacked 2 fours. And the Stars have their first win, eh? Oh, Cartwright, did he not know they'd won? I feel like Cartwright didn't celebrate because he didn't know that was the winning runs. And then he's got the other guy's reaction. Merlot's reaction. That's funny. that's hilarious, actually. Wholesome. So that's probably a good result for Perth, all things being equal. Oh, there's a question. Yeah, okay, so they delayed this Scorchers game because the first game was still on. Interesting. Now we're going to switch to the coverage. That's good. So the Sixers losing is good for Perth. Because the Sixers are looking pretty good. I feel like they hadn't lost before that. Yeah, there were 3 wins, 3 games, 3 wins. And we are finally getting this up. I'm just trying to get the BBL table up. Cric info is being painful. Unbranded, hello mate, welcome. Good to have you here. Hope you're doing well. I feel like on talent, this is a potentially good game. Is my thing frozen? Looks like it's just frozen a bit, guys. Sorry. Hey, Brooklyn's in the chat. Our first ever member. Welcome, Brooklyn. Good to have you here. Going for the Gades, obviously. Let's go Scorchers is my response, but welcome. It's good to have you. Superhero says the Stars won. They sure did. Yeah, good result for Perth, I reckon. The Sixers losing. I just want to get the table up so I can verify that. And Crawley's on strike for the first ball. Good delivery from Rogers, but knocked for a single. Yeah, so the Sixers were second. Oh, they've already updated the table. That was quick. So the Heat are first. Where did I have the Heat? I think I had the Heat like 5th. They're looking pretty good at the moment. I didn't think their squad was that strong when you take out the international players. But they've done very well so far. Oh, great delivery from Rogers. His radar's looking pretty good. Good line of length, good movement. So if we win this, we'll go potentially first if we win by enough. Which is a nice result. Let's go the orange team. That's true. We are the orange team, aren't we? Stars winning not good for the Gades. Need a win to avoid the bottom. Ah, there you go. Fair point. True, but I feel like the Gades should be gunning for top 4, in which case, on balance, overall, the Sixers losing is good. You don't want to be competing with the Stars. But I get your point, for sure. AFG, I presume you mean Afghanistan, banned 3 players for prioritising franchise over country. They can't participate in any league for 2 years. What? That's heavy. So would that mean they can't participate in the BBL again for 2 years, or just in any Afghanistan league or team? Because that seems a bit much, that their cricket board could ban them from the BBL. That seems a bit much. Just going back to the table there. So the Renegades are the bottom, yeah. So if they lose today, we'll have the 2 Melbourne sides 7th and 8th. I don't know. Like, obviously, I've got a heap of faith in Perth. Naturally, they've been very good this tournament so far. But I like the talent in this Renegades team. Oh, what was that shot? What? That was one of the worst shots I've seen while streaming the BBL so far. Not a great start overall. So just like a bit of a lofted lollipop. That's all it was. It was lollipopped it to mid-off. That's a big wicket for the Renegades. So who does that bring out? Is that... Hardy, of course. Yeah, bats at the 3. They can't play any league. Naveen, Mujib and Faruqi. Wow. Mujib, is that the one playing in this game, Renegades? Is he Afghanistan? I can't remember. Great over from Rogers, to be fair to him. Good player. I didn't really know too much about him before when going through this preview content. Another good accurate delivery. Push for a single. A great over for the Renegades. Yes. Okay, thanks, superhero. 2 years, that's stiff. I suppose, like, if there's rules, but were those rules, like, obvious to everyone? As in, did the Afghanistan players know that they were going to get a 2-year ban if they did this? In which case, they're silly. But talk about potentially 40,000 at this game? Surely not. That's impressive. Doyless is up the heat. Yeah, mate, they're playing well so far. T Mello, I'm good, mate. How are you? I hope everyone's Christmas was good. Rogie's in the chat. Welcome, mates. How will they make the money? Yeah, you mean the players that are banned? How will they make money? Yes, great question. If that was what you meant. Speaking of it, Mujib, the man. Sorry, Rogie. I don't know. So far, so good in this game. I mean, it's only 7 balls, but I think the Renegades have a good 11. I just read out the starting team. Like, there's star power. It's just well rounded. It's deep. I don't know. I'm no cricket expert. I just see like heaps of talent in this team that should be playing better than they are. Oh, clean bowl. What a ripping ball. Great start. Connolly just did not see that at all. Like, he just played completely down the wrong line. I want to see the replay because it kind of went out of focus just as he bowled it. You know what? That was just bad batting. Nothing against the delivery. It was a good, well-flighted delivery, but he's an off spinner and he played like the leg side of the line, if that makes sense, and the ball went straight. No, he just did not see that. Perfect start for the Renegades. We're probably a marsh from being good. Well, Sean's playing today. Is that what you mean? Like, if he's in the side, you're good? What do you mean another marsh on top of him? Finch and Madison is a terrible middle over, strike rate of about 50. Let me get back to what the selected team was. I need to have another look at it. It's just coming up with an error message. I hope I'm not losing the stream. Forgive me, everyone, if the stream dips out. It's just okay. It seems to be going alright. I don't know what's happening. Getting Sean Marsh in. There you go. Mind you, it's all Rogers and Mujeeb who've had the great start. Won't say no to another Marsh. Yeah. Well, I feel like Sutherland's had a fairly okay tournament so far. Is that all right? So I've got a little bit quiet on the stream simply because I got an error message saying that the stream's about to go, but so far so good. It's alright. Do I know about the Super Smash T20? Remind me. It does sound familiar, but I can't exactly remember what that is. Two for 5 off 2 overs. Inglis is the new man. You feel like these two could put on a little partnership. Steady the ship. So just looking at there's a Maddinson and... So there's no Finch in this game. Is he dropped? How's that work? I know Marsh is in, so the mix of Marsh and Maddinson in is better. Fraser McGurk, Joe Clark, Sutherland, yeah. We need our seamers to do what Rogers has done. Or doing. Ooh. Pressure's on. Perfect start here. 2 for 6 from 14 balls. Finchy hurt his back. Thank you, Brooklyn. How old is Finch now? Must be at least mid-30s. If I'm 30, Finch has got to be at least 5 years older than me, right? Okay. There you go. Didn't field. Kind of looked like an old man in the last game. Well, careful saying that. If I search him, Brooklyn, and he's not that much older than me, I will be offended by your comments. Nah, I'm just kidding. Oh, he's way older than me. He's my sister's age. My brother deleted the channel from our pack. Oh no. Can't watch BBL and study. That's rough. Oh yeah, Finchy's 37. That's alright. I got time. I got time before I'm at Finchy levels. He is an oddly proportioned man, Finch, I will say that. It's just like looking at his face, he looks like a athletic, fairly kind of chiseled guy. Like not massively, but just like, and then he just like pans out and it's just, yeah, different. He is getting on a little bit. He has been around for a while, like, I'm trying to think. I remember seeing his name in 2006 or something like that. Back when he was just like a faceless player from Victoria that I knew that their batsman was called A. Finch. Back when it was called the ING Cup, I reckon. Showing my age a little bit there. I used to just love having the ING Cup on. It would just be like WA versus South Australia or something in a random 50 over game. I remember flicking it on once. This was the 50 over, which is now called the Marsh, and seeing like the Ward brothers, Michael Clark, Brett Lee, and Glenn McGrath all playing for New South Wales in a random 50 over game. I was like, what the hell is this? A little bit like Jake Stringer, yeah. It's offensive to Jake Stringer, probably, but there's a facial similarity there too. A little bit. Hardy's 86 or 45. That's right. It was Hardy that actually went larger than Crawley. I think. Yeah. Yeah, we streamed this game, didn't we? How was everyone's Christmas? Did we get some good presents? I got some fudge I might eat in front of you in a bit. It is only 10:41 a.m, but I didn't really have time for brekkie this morning. And therefore the answer is to eat chocolate. You're still in that Christmas period where chocolate for breakfast is still okay, I think, for one more day. Ooh. Fair whack from Hardy. You feel like you might take Mujib on this over. I think there's the last over of the field restrictions. Oh, is Mujib a leg spinner? I feel like that was just a wrist spin. I need to watch it closer. That one turned into him, so it could have been a wrong or an offie. Honestly, the best Christmas years? As in, sorry, are you saying that you had one of the best Christmases you've had? Oh, in years, sorry. You know what happens when the most recent message is covered by an emoji thing. That's good to hear, Brooklyn. Sorry. Jay reckons breakfast is overrated. Yeah, see, I skipped breakfast for almost my entire teen years, and I've got so skinny. And I remember just like as a kid, just being like, yeah, I've got such skinny genetics, and I just realized I ate like a meal and a half a day through high school. It's like as soon as I started having 3 meals, I started to really thicken out a little bit. Oh, Pies Premiership would be cool, Rogie. My dad sent me the there's an Eagles yearbook. I think every club probably does the same thing, where they go through every game of that year in detail with pictures and stuff, and it's actually really a cool thing. Like I love reading them every year, or have done since I was a kid. And my dad sent me 2023s, and I was just like, great, thanks. It'd be great to look back on all the memories. So superhero likes RCB, Melbourne Stars, London Spirit, Joburg Super Kings, Texas Super Kings, and St. Lucia Kings. You really like your kings and your royalty, don't you? I don't know much about half of those teams, to be honest. Like I don't know the South African League or the American League too well, or the Caribbean Premier League. Celebrated with a good friend and her family and rekindled the child inside me. Felt like an old family one I had a decade ago. Oh, nice. Don't do gifts. I'm not really a gifts guy either. I mean, I do them out of obligation, but yeah. I sound like a Grinch, but I would happily just not do gifts with anyone. And yet I know that I'm a dick for saying that, so I just do gifts anyway. But I don't know why. I probably just need to flick my mindset on that, because it's actually kind of a nice tradition. Rogie only eats breakfast on days he works. Yeah, okay, yeah. I always stick to my 3 meals a day at the moment. I used to eat 4, but these days a little bit poorer, so I have to cut down to 3 meals. That sounds so sad, but it's true. Like if I'm just cutting costs a little bit, I'm like, I can't really justify 4 meals a day, can I? But like when I was a bit younger, and I found that for as much as I went to the gym, I'd need 4 meals to kind of like make me feel in positive energy, if that makes sense, as opposed to a deficit. Nowadays, I probably am in an energy deficit constantly, but that's all right. AFL Time 23 is in the chat. Welcome, mate. Good game so far, in the sense that one of the best teams is being challenged seriously by a team that is winless, I think. Or have they won one? I keep closing the thing. It is a bad start, AFL Time, but these guys routinely get us out of trouble. So we'll see. Gifts are alright. I'm just awful with buying people presents. Prefer for them just to tell me what they want. I'm the same as you, Rogie. Yeah, I don't know if it's a guy thing. It probably is a guy thing. I don't know. Yeah. I must just say, it's embarrassing to admit, but like, whenever we do group, like, sibling family gifts, my sisters kind of just handle it and I just pay them. Like, if we get something for Dad, we usually get something as the 3 kids. And my sisters handle it and I just pay them. So impersonal. But it's hard. It's hard buying for sisters, man, in particular. Like, I could get something for my dad, but I think buying things for your sisters who are 8 years older than you, like, it's pretty hard, man. I live such a hard life. Nah. But, like, you can't buy them clothes. Like, I could probably buy my dad some clothing if I needed to. I probably wouldn't, but I could at least find out easily what his style is. You can't really do that with your sisters. Yeah, Renegades will eventually rip defeat from the jaws of victory. We'll see. You got to be pretty on for the whole game against the Scorchers, I will say that. But equally, this is a very good start. Or bad start. We need to do a Chris Jordan. What did I get my phone out to do? Oh, that's right. What they don't want is to have Hardy and Inglis settle. 6 singles off the over. They don't want them to, really start feeling too comfortable. Literally just got gifts from my parents and my sister just got it and I gave her the money for it. Sounds about right. Is your sister older than you or younger than you, Rogie? Your sister just sent you. Yeah, that's cool. I'm into that as well. When I celebrated with my family, they would ask for what they want and mine in return, but it gets complicated with equality and making sure the gifts are, similar value. Agreed. Yeah, I try not to just care about that. My attitude is just like, if I spend a little bit more than they spend on me, like, whatever. But I see what you mean, like, in between each of the different people, yeah. I never got my hopes up even after the Gays had a good year. Yeah, it's tough with BBL. Older by 3 years. Yeah, okay. That helps. Yeah, mine are older as well. So they feel the innate sense of responsibility for these things, which is very handy. Zampa into the attack. So a couple of spin options here for the Gades. He's coming off a very good World Cup, obviously, but I have no idea how he's gone in the tournament so far. Good ball first up. Good length. Also the delivery. Pitched it up. Just a single. So, the Gades have done a pretty good of just keeping it to singles. I think that'll do the Scorchers for a little bit as these guys get set. Then they'll start. I reckon they'll take on Zampa soon. You know what's the downside of living in a small town as Christmas? It's just that everything closes. Even on Boxing Day. Just as I predicted. I was like, they're going to take on Zampa soon, and Inglis has just smacked him. Zampa's been fine, not great by any means, but not bad. Yeah, fair enough. I suppose there's a different format to the World Cup, obviously, and obviously different conditions, so it doesn't necessarily mean or translate that good form into the BBL, but Inglis probably would have just spent, 6 weeks with Zampa in India batting against him in the nets. I don't know, I'm plucking that number. I don't know how long the World Cup was for. It was at least a month, right? Oh! I got a single out of it. Well done. Yeah, everything's closed. The place I normally go for my morning coffee was closed. That's the other annoying thing, is like small town vibe. Like their Google account says that they're open today. It's a tough life, man. But like I can't. There's nowhere to buy groceries today, so I needed to have all my food pre-bought for today. Which is lucky. I think I've got just enough to get me through to tomorrow morning, and then I can go shopping again. I can't do laundry because I didn't buy enough detergent. I have to wait a day. Also out of ketchup, which sucks, but that's fine. Zampa. 10 off the over. Good over for the Scorchers. It'd be nice to be pushing around that 70, 75 mark. Let's call it 70 by the 10 over mark. Heat has the most fans. Oh, god damn, this stupid emoji thing that's over what you said. They have the most followers on Instagram, do they? That surprised me a little. I wouldn't have thought so. Oh, hang on. When you think about it, yeah, obviously Queensland is a pretty big cricketing state and they've only got one team. So that does make sense. So they could have the most fans, I'm not too sure. So we got 8 teams, don't we? Could we go... What's the most we could go to? 10, 12? 10, another Queensland, another Perth. Oh, you want to go another Adelaide too, probably. 2 in each state, 1 in Hobart. You could have an odd number of teams. I would have thought of the Sixers or the Scorchers given the success. Yeah, I suppose... I mean, I think success would dictate how many people go to the games, but in terms of how many people will just like associate with that team and will like them on Instagram, that's a different thing, I think. And the Sixers have like to compete with the Thunder, but yeah, fair point. Like you kind of consider those teams probably having the biggest followings. G'day Hunsey, welcome to the chat, mate. G'day Fraser, hope you're going well. It's a good game so far. Richardson into the attack. This is an important partnership. If this breaks, which it just so nearly did. Nearly chopped on. If it breaks, then the Scorchers are in a bit of strife. $14 in the chat. Good to see you guys. If you could chuck a like on the stream, that would be very helpful for me from an algorithmic point of view. Thank you. CEO of Freedom says they bought the followers. You reckon? Do you reckon that happens? Surely not. It would be fairly cringe for a professional sporting organisation to buy followers, wouldn't it? I'm good, thank you, Huntsman. You are my second favourite nephew. I have a biological nephew that does just trump you, I'm afraid, but I'm good, mate. How are you? It is 10:55 a.m. here in the UK. It feels like the sun has just come up. That's kind of the constant cycle you're in. It feels like the sun's just come up for the first 2 or 3 hours of the day, and then it switches to looking like the sun's going down immediately. There's no like peak daylight. But we are past the winter solstice now, which means the days will slowly get longer. Oh, that is a horrid ball from Richardson. A good take there from DeCock. Giggity. I say we just span the Big Bash, start a Victorian Cricket League with suburbs getting teams and adding interstate teams before changing to the Australian Cricket League before expanding. That would be good, wouldn't it? Relocate one of them to Brisbane. Or actually merge, rather. Sydney's the only relocation, right? South Melbourne to Sydney, that's the only legitimate relocation. I think Brisbane were a merger. 4:25 p.m. here in India. What's the weather like this time of year, superhero, over in India? Come Thailand. I would love to go to Thailand. I used to live there. And I'm trying to think when was the last time I went there. Oh, I was there during the pandemic, actually. Like, literally. When we left Perth to go to Thailand, people were saying, don't go. And then we came back like the day before the borders shut. How arrogant of us. But we just didn't really realise what was coming. Like, we were like, surely not. Oh, good 6 there from Hardy. Much needed. 9 off the over. Whereabouts are you in Thailand, CEO? Don't rule out North. True. Yeah, I wonder where they would relocate to. I assume the Tassie thing's off now. I would rather see North just preserved and survive, which I'm sure they will. Richardson is straight up washed. I haven't really followed him closely. I'll defer to your judgment there. Is that another 6? Yeah, Inglis is going after Zampa. You're in Bangkok, are you? Bangkok's great. That was where I lived. How long have you lived there? Reese Hart says, hi everyone, how's the land of Angles treating you? The land of Angles? Angleland? Angleland? England? Is that what you meant? Is that another 6? I keep like talking to the chat and looking back and there's just like another 6. Inglis is going large. It's a good comeback here from Perth. The Vic BBL teams being at the bottom, like the 2 W. Hey, come on, man. Blights on the league. I don't even know if I come back to that. We'll be back. The Eagles will be back. But I can't argue with it this year. Injuries, bro. North will stay. None of us porters will go for an interstate team, and none of us will change teams either. That means even less eyes on the AFL. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where you would put North Melbourne. Like I said, you wouldn't go for 2 Tassie teams. Come on, Rogie. That's what you meant, Reese. I thought so. I thought I worked it out. It is, it's good, mate. It's good. Touch wood. We've actually had pretty good weather this December. I reckon it's rained far less in December than it has in August. And August is meant to be the summer. So, touch wood. It's a little chilly. But even now, like, it's 10 degrees and, like, it's not cold. Rogue's a more patia sort of operator. Or pataya. I say patia, by the way. I don't know what's normal. I feel like in Thailand we said patia. So I'm going to continue to call it that. Zampa has been proverbially clapped. That took me a while. 25 off 2 O's from Zampa. We've successfully targeted him. In particular, Inglis. I think Inglis has hit him for 3 6s. Must have enjoyed playing with the nets. There was a storm and... oh, really? And on the verge of floods. Weird. Hot Plastic says I says Sumich weird. You know what? I actually flit around between Sumich and Sumich. The reason I say Sumich is probably just because people from my dad's generation say Sumich. I don't know really what's correct. I'll defer to your judgment saying Sumich. But Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's. I think that's just something I got maybe from Dad, Peter Sumich. That it's kind of like a baby boomer thing, I reckon. Now I think about it, Sumich is probably the correct pronunciation. I do say both, to be honest. I think just I got in the habit of saying Sumich in that video. Sumich doesn't deserve to have his name said right. Yeah. That article was a bit sad, wasn't it? It's just... Again, like, I just don't know who to blame for that. Where they just, like, say something stupid and get us some clicks. I don't know. He has a track record. That's another six from Inglis. Man, this is a good innings. 24 from his last 6 balls, Inglis. This is great. Classic Gaze game starting great before turning shit. Yeah. It's a not to brag, but I mean the Scorchers are a hard team to nail down. There's too much star power. Like Inglis and Hardy are very good players, very good short format specialists. Like kind of like other boomers I know say tacos instead of tacos. Tacos seems like an English pronunciation. I'm going for a taco. Yeah. So I don't know if that's an influence from like England. Shit, I wanted to be 70 by the 10 over mark. They've crushed that. There are some little quirky things you can do to identify English people. Like they might have a mostly Australian accent, but they'll say garage instead of garage. That's how I identified a few secret poms in Oz before. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, am I muted? You're messing with me. OBS is not working. God damn. Oh my god. Alright. I feel like I'm not muted. I can see on the preview. No, I'm not. I'm not fucking muted. You guys suck. I can hear myself through the preview. Hey, we're back. Okay, as long as we're back and you guys aren't fucking with me any longer, that'd be great. Cool. I'm just not going to mess with it for a bit. And my KO is frozen. Just on the other side, everything's going wrong. That's cool. What were we talking about? We need a safe word for when, like, I'm actually muted. Whatever it was you were talking about seemed fun, though. Yeah, I feel like... Oh, we're talking about the Christmas pod. I answered that. No, I think that was it. I feel like... I'm unmuted. All right, cool. As long as we're normal now, that's all I care about. But there's a real a boy who cried wolf vibe about this. What's the score? What a goofy goober. Yeah, I know. I need to get to the point where the platform is large enough that I can afford to just get someone to handle this for me. Like, it would be so much better because I am bad at this stuff. 2 for 79 off 9.3 overs. To be fair, like, I can't even blame the age. I think, like, Terry's older than me from Blue Abroad, and he does a pretty good live stream. So, I can feel myself becoming older in that a lot of the tech that I am good at is just like frozen in time, and I'm not getting any better. I'm not getting any more skills or like learning new technology. I've already hit that age. Two for 79. I wonder what a pass score here is. We're in a position to get to 180. Or big enough that where you get mods that don't mess with you and say you're muted 100%. I wonder if like that had never happened, I never would have gone mute. Like, if you hadn't told me I was muted, I wouldn't have messed with it, because at one point I pulled the mic out and put it back in, which is my that's my tech knowledge. I wonder if that muted me after that. I'm 32 and slowly losing my grip on new age tech. It's wild to witness, yeah. I just picture, like, right now, like, the way I solve issues is just to use Google, right? Usually. But I'd imagine, like, in a time not too far away, like, the way we use Google is going to be completely different, or there'll be alternatives. Like, if we need to look at, or, you know, Google Maps or something like that, there'll be some sort of more immersive 3D way of looking up maps, and I'll just be like, to my kids one day, I'll just be like, I want to Google it. Dad, Google doesn't exist in that way anymore. Do I follow EPL? If so, who do you have winning the league? So I'm a Liverpool man, and we drew 1-1 on the 23rd, I think, December. Oh, some Boxing Day games today. Hey, Liverpool's playing again. That's a short turnaround. So I think, honestly, I'd probably bet Man City's still the favourite, but because they've played one less game. I'll say Man City over Arsenal, and then Liverpool are the three best teams. I think Arsenal getting a point away against us is significant. Had we won that, I would have given us more of a chance. Felt like we were always at the forefront, now fading a little bit, yeah. Legged it down the street with my old iPod. Oh my god, iPods. Yeah, that's a blast from the past. iPods were cool. Now it's just all one device, which is handy. Kind of like moving from Internet Explorer to Chrome. Except they never used... we gotta zoom in to see what word you said there. Bing. Oh yeah, I've never used Bing. Whenever it defaults to Bing, I'm just like, no, don't like change. I am a Chrome type operator, although Microsoft Edge seems to be working better for KO these days, so I'm using that. But again, I don't really use Edge otherwise. It's Chrome normally. The thing is, sometimes like certain browsers, this is really good content. Sometimes certain browsers just like stop working for certain sites, and you have to clear your cache and cookies and stuff. But then I have to like lose all my passwords and like re-enter them. So I just like start using other browsers. He got a painting made it on Fiverr of him laying down naked with a tiger belt covering his lower body. You copy. That is sick. What a strange request for Fiverr. You can get Microsoft rewards. What kind of rewards? Don't knock it till you tried it, Fraser. Interesting. Not to take the topics down this, but I've heard two different definitions of what edging is. Subscribe to the True Footy YouTube channel. Yeah, I feel like the Americans call it something different. Sorry, no, the Americans don't call it something different. Edging means something different there. Anyway, I don't want to get any further down into that conversation. Or at least you guys can have the chat. I just don't want to say it on a camera. Chrome/Brave. I've never even heard of Brave. I can't believe we're really getting into the... we're simultaneously talking about sexual acts and internet browsers. This is some real good True Footy content. It is the off-season. It is Boxing Day. Just an aside. Has anyone played The Sims before? Like The Sims, the original Sims came out in like the late 90s, I reckon. And I think there's still like a Sims 5 coming out, but just let me know to what extent you've ever dabbled with The Sims. Brave is great, very secure. What are we doing here? No, keep chatting. That's funny. Both can be quite explosive. Gross. So it sounds like you know exactly which what the two definitions are. You still play at Brooklyn. Interesting. So, yeah, I got into The Sims. Oh, I've played The Sims as in I make The Sims then immediately stop playing. Yeah, I get what you mean. So my sister played it in like the late 90s and I got into it, and I'm in the original Sims, like Living Large, Hot Date, those kind of things. And I loved it as a kid, and then I obviously stopped playing it. But when I was sick last week, and I downloaded it because I just didn't feel like making videos one day, and downloaded this original Sims, and I've been playing it heaps. Because you know why it's addictive? It's like you get pretty bored of just building houses and stuff, but to actually play the game well and make heaps of money on it and use no cheats, it's really hard. My experience with The Sims is completely limited to being a psychopath. Yeah, I've done that as well, Reese. Yeah. What else have I done? I think I just removed all the doors and like made them set. Oh, that was a weird shot from English, but it brings up the 50. If you had forgotten, there's a cricket game going on. Jeez, they've carded Sutherland. This game's going well now. Remove the doors and then get them to set the kitchen on fire. I did mean to save live. My living purpose is to play it. So which Sims do you play, Brooklyn? Sorry, if you didn't say. It is an addictive game. I love making different narratives in family stories. Yeah, that's cool. See, I never played anything past Sims 1. So Jesse, do your Sims enjoy edging? Depends which definition. Either way, yes. Hardy's playing a bit of an anchoring innings here. Oh, that's a bad ball from Sutherland. Oh, I can feel the cringe through the screen from Rogue Riot. Huntsy, I just want to screenshot that. In fact, I would screenshot that, but you are under 18, so I feel bad about having that in my phone. It's goated. You really just don't get this on Cardman streams, do you? Actually, I don't know. Just not the Microsoft version. Oh yeah, that's how we got here. Microsoft Edge. Sims 2 and 4. I do own 1 and 3. They're the two old or slow to run on my PC. Yeah, fair enough. I'm intrigued by The Sims 5. I don't know, on principle I kind of just don't want to play any of the newer ones. I like the original ones. You can do some raunchy stuff on Sims Hot Date. Yeah, Brooklyn, that's so true. My Sims just trashed the house. Spend like $100 a day on maid fees. 18 in the chat. Oh, great shot, middle by Inglis. I think it might be fielded. Yeah. I don't think he actually timed that, but another good over for the Scorchers. I suppose like $70 on DLCs. On Christmas Eve, wow. Damn. So you really do play the Sims, Brooklyn. Half naked Michael Vaughan is exactly what everyone wished for on Christmas. I was just thinking that. I was just like, and that's in the UK, to be fair. Was that an ice bath? Because like fair play, it is, like I said, it's not super cold at the moment, but it's too cold to get in an ice bath outside. Could Inglis hit a century here? It is possible. He's within range, I'd say. Oh, after this, like, it's so bad how addicted to The Sims I am right now, because you just want to improve, like get better at the game. Not improve, I mean like you just want to make, more money. That's what's the addictive dopamine thing. But I really need to start my new 18 team series. And I'm going to. God, edgelord. I don't have a reply. Oh. Yeah, went to have Shane. Okay. Oh. Edging your bat, true. Takes a thick edge on the way through the keeper. Yeah, Sims 2 is my favourite though. My Sims will just get mugged. Oh, yeah. Mugged? I've never actually seen mugged. I don't think that was a thing in the original Sims. Wait, so Michael Vaughan was getting into a bar. Was that in Australia or England? I thought it was from England. Who's more chance of making the 8? Yeah, the 8. I would have thought Essendon. Oh, famous last words though. I would have thought Essendon, to be honest. I just think Richmond are a little bit done. Oh, great shot there from Inglis. Inside out over cover. Thick edge. Yeah, with 2 or 3 Cs. What about a thick edge to third man? Hopefully it doesn't go to leg slip. Rated your pies. Oh, thanks, man. Reckon Frampton and Kruger might not make it, and Crisp is the type of guy who played 33 for sure. Yeah, the retirements are a little bit hard to do. Like, there's a balance of trying to be realistic, but also like really project what is coming up from underneath. Because with some teams, I could have just kept all the veterans, and the video would be the same. So I was trying to tricky balance that there. Yeah, Frampton and Kruger, I agree, are vulnerable. I think the reason they made it is because they wanted to have a tall or two in that team, and they were like the best ones left that I was aware of. Who is the? I presume he's a ruckman. He's like Sudanese looking. Sorry, I'm taking a stab at where he's from. He could be from another country, but on Collingwood's list, and his name is Rue. Like, what is his name? Because I probably saw his name in the list and didn't associate like who he was, but I saw him on Instagram and I was like, is that a guy on Collingwood's list? I didn't even know that. Hang on, this is Essendon we're talking about. Good point, Brooklyn. I know, that's what makes me a little doubtful, but surely they've got more in the kit bag. I'd say they're more likely, but Richmond's still a chance. That's probably a good way to do it. Ew, Fraser. Yuck. I'm trying to think of a silly fine leg joke. Silly mid-on. No. There's something, yeah. He really needed some extra cover there. I don't know. As soon as I started school in 2005, Essendon would never won a final. I'm solely responsible. True, yeah. It's because you started school, bro. You should have been held back a year. Yeah, it took me, like, when I first started watching football, I associated Essendon. Well, they were a strong club, so I, like, the Hurd and Lloyd era in particular. I still associate them as a strong club, but it kind of snuck up on me how long it's been for them. Okay, he's not on the actual list. Okay. I was going to say, because I didn't find him on FootyWire, but FootyWire can be 99% accurate. It still has a few different quirks. Like, I think it still has James Harms at Melbourne. Nice shot, Hardy, 6. For instance, like, it has Connor Butterick as delisted, and like 5 or 6 other players are like still delisted and not on that team's list. So that was a bit of a pain for me. He's huge. I saw him I think I saw it on Swoop Luke's Insta, I think. And I looked at this guy, like, we had like the Dacos's and Quainors in there, and there's this huge black dude on the end, like enormous arms. And I was just like, oh, who's that guy? Clicked on it, and he appears to be like playing with Collingwood. Dodo has ruined the club. Why do people think that? Is it the drafting? They have been through like 6 coaches. Who are the coaches they've been through? Since Sheedy, who are the 6 coaches? Was Knights immediately after Sheedy? I feel like he might have been. Woosha was there. Rutten was there. Who else has there been? I'm sure you guys will let me know. My brain's struggling to think of other Essendon coaches. We got Knights, Woosha, Rutten, Scott. I feel like I'm missing at least one. Steen would also be playing by that point if he naturally develops. Yeah, I just couldn't lie and say I knew much about Steen. Like, sometimes with Project Rux, it's really hard. I'm 33, so I grew up watching Essendon being a right problem for my peak. Oh, yeah, true. The Pete Lions. It's weird seeing them in their current state. Agreed. Like, yeah, it kind of crept over me. Like, one day I was just like, wow, Essendon have actually become irrelevant. With all due respect. If you were building a club from the ground up and you had to sign one of these players for 7 years, 1 million, would it be Rosie, Hugo Hagen? Is that the end of the choices? Okay, Petrarca. For 7 years. Talent is to die for the output. Yeah. International recruit from Senegal. Okay, there you go. Sorry, I assumed it was Sudan. Well, I assumed that Sudan was the most likely country. I didn't assume it was Sudan. Knight heard Bomber Thompson, of course. That was the one. Okay, so I only missed Bomber Thompson, which was arguably one of the more obvious ones. That's funny. Oh my god, Heard. Never mind. How did I miss Heard? Yeah, of course. Oh, that's a soft dismissal from Inglis. But it was a good innings. Baziru Faye, he's... Roo, hence Roo, yeah. He's from Senegal, international rookie scholarship. And not gonna lie, reminds me of Deji. Really? I'll have another look at him. Darcy the bot says Inglis is out, yeah. Okay, I would go Rosie out of those options, Fraser. Petrarca's the best player, but I think Rosie has longer of his prime. And he's hoping he has to stay relevant. I want to see 8,000 days. What are they on now? Is it in the 5s? I feel like it's been nearly 20 years. So we must be in the 6s pushing 7s. Yeah, that was a soft dismissal, but we are in a much better position now. We've got a good bowling attack. So six overs, what can we achieve? 180, I think, is what we should be going for. 185 even. Ooh, good delivery. Rogers back into the attack. 2 for 4 off 2.2. Wow. Fair play to him. He's bowled well. What was I looking up? I was going to look up this... I wanted to see if this guy looked like Deji. That's what I was looking for. Swoop Luke posts so much content that I lose track. It might not even been Swoop Luke, to be fair. Yeah, probably wasn't. Is that a 6? Fair play. That was a big 6. And the 7,000 days, my God, it's insane how long Kevin Sheedy was coach. 26 years. Yeah, I know. Things were just different. I kind of like that. It's hard to guess from the outside looking in to what extent someone... Oh, that's a great shot, actually, from Evans. It's hard to call how long is too long because the game changes so much, but... Top edge. Oh, falls safely. The game changes over that time. So does a coach hit a certain age and a point where they can't innovate anymore? Not necessarily. Who's the oldest coach? Is it Fagan? Fagan, Longmire. I actually don't really have a good feel for how old these guys are. I think Fagan is the oldest coach, though. He says, firing off the hip without thinking about it too much. Fraser says, how about forwards? King, Norton, Thilthorpe, Logan McDonald. On talent, I want to go the Kings, like one of them. They've both been injury hit. They've both done an ACL. Max has the extra injury. The output's very similar. Maybe Ben King. Followed by Logan McDonald. But they're all pretty tight. Yeah, Fags might be the oldest. Adam Simpson's starting to look old, but I'm pretty sure he's about 47, 48. Jeez, fair play to Evans. I thought he would... I don't really know that much about him, but I thought, he might slow down the run rate a little bit, but he's hit a 6 and a 4. Clarko. How old is Clarko? I don't think he's super old, but when did he become coach of Hawthorn? Like 2005? So that means he's 18 years since he started his role. He'd probably be like mid-50s. Yeah, early mid-50s. What about you, Fraser? What are your calls? So I said Rosie and Ben King to answer your question. Reece Hart says 62. Yeah, cool. Yeah, 62. That makes sense, yeah. I wonder how late... I never get sacked because only Port fans. Yeah. I wonder how old you can coach. My old man is 70, and I reckon he would still be... I mean, not specifically an AFL coach, but like he's still so with like his business and stuff that he's nowhere near retiring. So I think... by extension, you could probably coach till 70. Malthouse really gave the impression of being really old. What age did he stop coaching, I wonder? Simo's, yeah. So apparently Brooklyn, Simo used to dye his hair. So he's been going grey for a long time, like mid to late 30s. Like real grey. So now he's just white because he just started embracing it. But he's not that old. It's Fagan and it ain't close. There you go. Wayne Bennett is 73. Wow. That is wild. Ooh, thick leading edge. Could he go for 6? No. Couple bounces. G'day, Tom. Thanks, mate. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you had an okay Christmas. Or good Christmas, rather. You'd go Max King... when he came back from injury last year, he was hitting 3.2. Yeah, that's a good average, yeah. They're pretty hard to split, but yeah, Max is... Yeah, I'd go either of them, to be honest. But they are all good choices. Like, Phil Thorpe has proven the least out of all that lot, and I would still be very happy with that. I didn't know, thought it was particularly stressed. I mean, fair. Like, it could be, but I do just think his genetics were always going that way. He's just gone, like the actor Steve Martin, like just white hair from a very young age. Malthouse stopped at about 62. There you go. Greg Popovich, NBA coach, is in 72. How much does the NBA change? Like... Because I just think the AFL innovates very quickly because it's a young game. It's actually not a young game, actually. Why am I saying that? I feel like maybe it's sort of a quickly evolving game because it's become quickly more professional lately. So it's like still going through this growth period. And my logic there is like, the faster the game innovates, maybe the more switched on the coach needs to be. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit stupid. You still got to be switched on and all. The faster the game innovates, the better the coach needs to evolve, and therefore, as they get older, are they worse at evolving? That was my point. Oh, Kai. Dropping $5. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. It's a very kind donation. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you very much. Where are we at? So Tom says, how was the Chrissy dinner? It was really good. We had fun. We played a few games. Drank a bit of sparkling wine. Had a really nice dinner. Ate so much we felt tired and sick, but it was perfect. It was really good. Thanks, mate. Rosie is proven. Still waiting on both King brothers, even if they have potential. Yeah, I suppose. Just because it's a key position. But I think Max and Ben are fairly proven, but they haven't had an elite season. That's probably what the difference is. That's right, Reece. Yeah, that was kind of what I was getting at. It feels like AFL is going through such a transformative era that coaches maybe don't coach that deep, but maybe that will change in 20 years. Same thing with football. Like Sir Alex Ferguson coached for that long, managed. Players from before the early 90s weren't even full time, so it's a younger professional league. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, by that logic, maybe the game settles down now, and we can see coaches coach later and longer. It's a very cutthroat industry, but again, so are other professional sports. So none more so than the Premier League, to be honest. That's probably the most extreme cutthroat industry that I've ever seen. Like Fiorini, not Fiorini, God, Ranieri, Claudio Ranieri. That's just how you say his name. From Leicester getting sacked. Like that's legitimately stupid. Shout out again, Kai. Thank you very much for that. That's very generous. What are we sitting on here? 151 with 22 balls left. We could score 190 here. I wouldn't underestimate the Renegades being able to chase whatever we put up, though. There is some batting power to this team. But we do have a strong bowling attack. What's happened there? 6! Hey, shout out Wombat in Combat has just joined as a member to this channel. Thank you so much. Welcome, mates. Appreciate you. That's amazing. What a legend. Welcome aboard. Oh, thank you very much to our new members. We've got 2 in the chat, actually, at the moment. So Wombat in Combat and Brooklyn. Welcome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Rogie says, I've come to the conclusion that I don't like the BBL anymore. I'll wait till the end of the game, mate. I feel like... Oh, I don't think he's hit that well. But my instincts are terrible. He did not. And he's well caught. Yeah, you could just tell. Hardy put his head down and started running. It didn't look good, but... a good wicket to take. Hey, Rogie's joined the family as well. What a legend. Thank you, Rogie. Thank you so much. Absolute legends. We've got 3 members in the chat today. Really appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Every little bit helps. Absolutely. Rogie didn't know membership was a thing. I've been watching your videos for a while. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. Absolute legend. Yeah, it just helps me get through as well. Yeah, so you get like early access to videos and stuff, which I need to catch up on because I've got, yeah, so members at the moment can see videos up till tomorrow, which means that you've got early access to 2 more videos at the moment. And I like staying ahead so you can watch them early. But at the very least, it just supports the channel and gets me through. It means I don't have to get a job. So I really appreciate it. So we got 4. We got Rogie, 4 in this chat. Rogie, Wombat in Combat, Brooklyn. Am I forgetting someone? Maybe we got 3 in this chat, sorry. We got 3 in this chat. And I think 5 overall, which is awesome. I really appreciate the support. Yeah, as for memberships, like it took me a while to really think whether or not to do it. It does seem like a lot of people do it now. It's a very common thing on YouTube, and over time I'd like to enhance it so that you can get even more for being a member. But I just have to figure that out. I'll gladly support unemployment. Thank you. Appreciate that. Tom asks my strongest lift in the gym. Good question. So my best muscle group is definitely my back. I've got weak chest and shoulders and weak legs, but my back is disproportionately large. And I noticed once at the gym, because I've never felt like a big guy, but my mates would sort of be like, oh, you're looking big, mate. I think that's just a thing that friends do, like when we're at the gym. This is getting weird, but I hope what I'm saying sounds normal. But once I went, this is the gym for the first time I've ever been where I can actually see myself from behind in the gym, and I saw myself once and I was like, wow, my back is so much bigger than the rest of my body. it creates kind of a weird look. And I got a really flat chest, so it's quite unaesthetic. But to answer your question, I don't know. Probably the cable stack pull down, I could do for 100. I don't know if that's a lot. Like, I think every cable stack is probably going to be slightly different. I don't even know if that's kilos or pounds, to be honest. I'm benching about 90 with no spotter for 2, and I weigh about 84. So that's solid, but that's taken me a while to get there. Whereas I know people lighter than me that bench more for more reps. Like, some people are just good at benching. Another wicket. Hobson's out for 1. Jesse got a fat back. Bounce a quarter of that thing. Really? You're a hamstring guy, Fraser. See, I hate hamstring curls. I don't do them. I deadlift. And I don't deadlift much because I go to tight back. I go to tight back, tight glutes, and really not flexible. And what that means is, like, every 4 weeks, my back, I get an injury. So I just deadlift about 100 kilos because I like the motion. I like the grip strength, the forearms, the traps, and the hammies sort of like movement. But I'll just do more reps for less weight. I think the most I ever deadlifted was about 160, but I'm a long way off that strength level now. I'm in okay shape at the moment. I'm not in bad shape. I've lost a lot of body fat, but it's also because I can't eat. Because I'm like on a budget at the moment, I'm not eating as much as I would like to get bigger. So I'm just kind of stabilizing and getting a little leaner, not in bad shape, not in great shape. Oh, Fraser says they're putrid. My hammies are non-existent. Yeah. I really want to. I care about my lower body and I want to have that thick, even look. But at the same time, you got to really be in a good headspace and feeling not tired to train legs properly, in my opinion, in my experience. Walked from the couch to the fridge type operator. Yeah, I can relate, mate. My strengths are the booty and hips. Really? Leg presses and deadlifts. There you go. I wish I could do that, man. Like, I just wish. But I just don't. I do like deadlifts when I'm in a cycle. Yeah, steroids. No, when I'm in a good rhythm with it. Like, I love training legs, but I'm so rarely in that rhythm. Bicep curl 565 mil. That's clever. Repeatedly. Kane. Oh, it's saying Kane is a member. Are you a member, Kane? Wait. Oh, unless you just change your name. Either way, welcome, Kane. Have I seen the... Are you the Wombat and Combat guy? I'm confused now. I feel like you had a name change. Have you seen the weird back and forth between WA and Victoria media about cricket crowd sizes? No, I haven't seen that at all. I think being out of the country means I miss the little things like that. That's funny. Nyasha leg presses... incline dumbbell press 32.5 kilos and seated shoulder press 27. That's strong. Yeah, it's good, mate. Because you're not... How old are you, Nyasha? You're a young guy, aren't you? Leg press 240. Solid. Very solid. It's very good, actually. I'm Wombat, just changed. There we go. Thank you. I just wanted to... Because I was like, if that's a new member, I want to acknowledge that. But yeah, thank you, mate. You are still a new member. You're more of a cardio guy, are you? Don't really go to the gym. Yeah, some people are just like that. Your job is physical. Yeah. Yeah, my roommate's like that. He just prefers cardio. He's a good runner. I'm not a good runner at all. I don't... I struggle with being good at it, whereas some people just run and they just like, get better quickly. I'm not really like that. Just get cracked on pre-workout. I know. I like pre-workout. I love those kind of like caffeine stimulants, but I also like my sleep, and I just don't let myself have too much of that. She said 1 to 2 exercise onto a few of your upper body days. Interesting. That's a good idea, Tom, actually. Sometimes I did deadlifts on back day. I found that would help a little bit. You can also start with a few legs exercise and use the upper body training as... Yeah, that's smart. I like using psychological tricks like that. Or like little hacks. I endorse that. Well said. Nyash, you're 21. Okay, so those lifts that you said become even more impressive. That's good, mate. That's strong. I thought you were around that age. And I was like, if you're 30... I mean, it's still strong, but if you're 21, that's real strong. I was not that strong at 21. I'd say like my physical peak was probably about 22 or 23. Maybe not peak, but like when I was the strongest. But there's definitely a sense of like, as you get older, you just retain that strength easier. Jesse, standard night out at the local pub, few games of pool, what are you having? Pint? Mixed drink of some sort? Oh, good question. I always start with pints. I just love that feeling of a cold, crisp pint to start the night. So I'll always start that way. Oh, another wicket. Okay, they've really come back here. Almost forgot this game was going. Yeah, they've really limited to us. We might only get 170, 175 at the moment. So I start the night with pints, and then when I'm getting a little bit loosey-goosey, you hit a natural threshold where you just... I think for me, that's about 3 or 4 pints where I'm just like, I can't have any more beer. And I switch usually to whiskey and Diet Coke. That's if I'm on a big night out. I do sometimes go to G&Ts, vodka lime sodas. I honestly will admit I get a little bit of... what's the word? Not peer pressure, but if other people around me are having G&Ts, I'll be like, yeah, good idea, let's do that. So that's kind of a mix. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really mix it up other than that, but I do have an order of what I go to. I don't go whiskey and then beers. Like some people say you end the night on beers. I don't subscribe to that. Brooklyn's trying to get better with cardio. Been doing classes which has a lot of steps. Yeah, doing 40 reps for a number of exercises. Nice. That's cool. That's yeah, my old man does some circuit training, and I go along, and you know, I'm the only one that's like, well, I was 28 when I did it. I was the only one like in his physical prime. A lot of these people are like 60, and they just like doing better than me because their cardio is just unreal. I suck at it. G'day Blaze 17, welcome mate, welcome to the chat. Stim-free pre-workout. What exactly is stim-free pre-workout? Like, how does that exactly work? Because you still need the caffeine boost, but it helps you go to sleep. Only 22 for not even another month. There you go. Getting older makes me feel like I need to accomplish more. Mate, you're 22. I'd done nothing when I was 22. You're still at uni, right? Like, at that age, you usually are anyway. But you are still at uni, right, Rogie? Yeah. I feel like you said that. I'm an old man. I get confused. Ooh. Good shot by Agar. Oh. Caught. This is... we're in strife here. Not in strife, but I feel like this game's leveled right up. Brooklyn's 26 next month. Oh, officially over the hill. I don't know. I'm 30, guys, so I'm like you guys, little babies. Well, not the ones that are younger than me, anyway. Fraser says absolutely same. 4-ish pints, and I start hitting the Jamo and dries. Need something less bloaty. 100%. Yeah, you got to be tactile about it. I also feel like I crash if I get too bloaty. I just get sleepy. You need to optimize it. Barbell row. 80 kilos. Yeah, nice. Oh, you know, I've never done a barbell row. I think my brother-in-law just put it in my head that it was kind of a dangerous move. And I'm not saying he's wrong. Maybe that was based on something. Like, it's just a high risk, low reward. So I never did it. Yeah, I thought I did get enough of that too. What are you going to switch to, Rogie? So there's 7 balls left. We're 7 for 161. This has been a very strong comeback from the Renegades, who have started and finished the innings well, which means we're going to get a total that is chaseable but still decent, which means this will be a good game. Ty has not hit that well. Fuck. 8 for 161. A Froth Whitlam. I've never heard that. That's clever. I love that. Yeah, tail is crumbling. 3 wickets this over. This is horrid. Our seamers are going to have to do the job tonight, because I don't think 161 is a really formidable total here. I reckon the pitch seems to be all right. So Sutherland starts his next game on a hat-trick. That's not really a thing, though, is it? Like, in between 2 different games? 2 different innings, yes, but 2 different games, no. We were going on a run about 15 minutes ago. Yeah. General Arts Associates. Film bachelor's degree. Yeah, right. Sick. What do you want to do? Film would be cool, I reckon. Would that be like the study of like the concept of filming, or would there be real practical? I think it would be everything, wouldn't it? There would be practical, obviously practical elements. I realised in my Carlton video I didn't put in the Campioli twins. That was dumb. I feel like this is another wicket. This is insane. That's 4 wickets and 7 balls. Scorchers to win by 25 runs. Brooklyn's not confident. This game is just completely flipped. I wouldn't call it the most amazing turnaround, because it's not like they just rip through us. It's just like we just keep hitting the ball straight up in the air. But this is a bad outcome for us. I'm not confident that we have enough runs here. I'd like to do video editing for online stuff, editing for a gaming or sport website. That'd be cool, man. And the thing is with that skill is that you also have a some that you can freelance with quite easily. Like you just excuse me. Let's say you're in a period where you are in between jobs, hypothetically, or you're or even at uni. Like you could just freelance a few editing gigs and build up a bit of a portfolio that way. Like that's one of those degrees that you could build experience quite easily of your own volition. Who is this, and what have they done with the real Renegades? It's a good question. I feel like it's the Scorchers that have thrown this as much as... Like, I feel like the Renegades have bowled solidly. Sure, they got carded in the middle overs. They've got some good players. And they bowl well. I'm not trying to take too much away from them, but I feel like a lot of this is Perth making some dumb decisions. Like, surely after the first 3 catches, you just try and hit it along the ground the next ball. Some questionable decisions, like Ty and Richardson. YouTubers are always looking for editors, that's true. Except me, I have contemplated that before, but a lot of my stuff is kind of low effort. Ooh. Oh, he's gone. Fuck me. That's actually stupid. Is that all out? Were we 9 down, or is that 9 down now? For me, it just the model doesn't quite work because everything is so time sensitive. So because I upload based on like responding to like what's happening in real life, I need to get the video up as soon as I film it, basically. Where it would work is if I'm doing a bit more of a creative thing, or like Caden McDonald for instance, when he does like those goal kicking challenges, that's the sort of thing where you'd use someone with skills, if that makes sense. If I had someone edit for me, wow, they are all out. That's embarrassing. 5 for 160. That's embarrassing, Perth. What the fuck? 7 wickets for 5 runs. Was that actually the score? That's all self-inflicted. Like, the bowling was good, but that was just bullshit. I don't know why I'm angry. I don't care that much, but I get angry at stupidity sometimes. In a sporting context, not all the time. Yeah, need to rip through the top order, as Nausha says. 7 for 4 for 30, thrown away about 30 runs. Agreed, Peter. Agreed. That was insane. Rogers bowled well. But a lot of the wickets that fell weren't necessarily wicket-taking balls. They were just like spoon to mid-off. That was, it was like mental fragility. Like each new batsman was like, oh, what do I do here? I feel like I should hit it. Oh, here, fieldsman, have it. We needed a bit of a calm head there because we could have done with an extra 10 runs, 10 singles. That's all we needed. That would have been better. I feel like you have been burned a lot by the Renegades, Rogie. Jake says still might be competitive. Yeah, I think we have a good enough bowling attack to make this tight, but I don't think 160 is a great score on that deck, from what I could tell. Inglis and to a lesser extent Hardy. Let's have a look at the scorecard actually. That was pretty much Inglis, Hardy, and a bit from Evans. Yeah, Evans did alright. 2 sixes. Other than that, no one scored more than 1 run. The scorecard goes 1-0, 57, 64, 24, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. What is this? This is literally fucking binary. Seeing the Scorchers do that and the Stars winning, this is a weird Boxing Day. Agreed, yeah. I kind of hope they lose. In a very mean way. 2 for 4 to 3 for 124 to 4 for 157 to all out for 162. That's crazy. That's a weird scoreline. Not falling for the Gades again. Half our batters haven't even batted. Our bowlers haven't batted this year. Yeah. I know what you mean, Max. Yeah. God damn. It's frustrating. I just felt like that was so self-inflicted, what just happened. And like I said, I feel like we've given the Gades a sniff. I feel like they'll come out with a bit of momentum, for sure. I haven't seen Endgame. Not much of a Marvel guy, to be honest. But I know what you mean. Weekly Spotify podcast, just talking about life, sport, whatever else topics you have on your mind. I've thought about that. I've thought about that. At the moment, like a lot of my energy needs to go into True Footy. But if I did something else, so maybe I was going to do that, like maybe members only, or I've thought about doing stuff on my old channel. I do have a second channel that I dabbled with for a while. I made like 10 videos, and then kind of lost the momentum with it. It's called Jesse Thomas. It does exist. I've thought about firing that up again. But again, I don't really know how much I would have to give to that. Like, I don't know how much I'd have to say on a weekly basis. And I don't know what the niche would be. Yeah. But it's an interesting idea. I'm just going to fill up my bottle of water, guys. I'll be right back. Max Hansen wants to see Spotify Wrapped. You know what? This is embarrassing. Okay. So, you would never guess what my top song was. Actually, I kind of want a few... Think of the most ridiculous song that everyone knows. Oh, I actually says I'm muted again. Let me know if I'm muted. Oh, no, the preview is muted. God, I've just got PTSD with this fucking mute thing. Get me on, mate. I'll tell you about the scars the gays have left me with. That'd be cool, mate. I actually think I will end up in Melbourne anyway, for a start. Maybe we'll get you on the pod, talk about the trials of being a Renegades fan. Spotify Wrapped. Yeah, I want to hear a few guesses. Think of the stupidest song that is a dance floor crowd pleaser. You're never going to guess it, but I kind of just want to see how ridiculous the guesses are, and I think the answer will be more ridiculous. I'm trying to find my Spotify Wrapped for a start. Can you still find it easily? It's still this year, so I would have hoped so. Party Rocks by LMFAO, Never Gonna Give You Up. Good guesses. Tub Thumping Chumbawamba. See, that would be a banger. That's a good one. Bop. Good areas. Not the song, but I like the suggestions. God. Do you even love Share? See, that's a good one, Rogie. But I am a huge fan of the DMA's version of that. So that would probably have featured heavily. I don't remember actually seeing it, but I did listen to it a lot. Harry Vander Plight says huge dub by the Stars earlier. Yeah, big win. That is a big win, to be fair. Potentially the Renegades going to make it 2 from 2 for Victorian teams. No, the answer is YMCA. So there's a reason why it's YMCA, because I never listen to it normally. But for some reason it fires me up when I do cardio, and I start every gym session, I usually do, with like 10 minutes of cardio, just run on the treadmill, get fired up. And for whatever reason, YMCA is just usually my routine. I just click that one first, and then I move on to everything else, and I don't touch it. But over time, I've moved, like all the songs I listen to at the gym, or generally like walking around town, those all change. So I never listen to the same song enough, but YMCA has stayed a constant, and it was my top song this year, and I was so embarrassed by that. Oh God, True Footy exposed. It is a ripping song though. I actually really like it. I think the lyrics are nice. I think it's very empowering, and it's just a vibe. It is lol worthy, and probably more embarrassing. Well, not more embarrassing than Gangnam Style or Bop. That would be worse, I think. YMCA is a banger though. I'll take you through some of the other songs. Rhyme Dust made it. Let It Happen by Tame Impala. I randomly got back into that song this year. Atmosphere by Fisher. That's a banger. Baby Again by Fred Again. Longest Time by Billy Joel. I didn't realise I listened to that much. That is a good song though. At the Village People in New Jersey loved homoerotic BDSM cops. Clearly. Few house songs. 17 Going Under made the list. Winter's Cold. I'm pretty sure that is the Drake AI song. That was a bit of a banger. Real Love Baby, Father John Misty. A few house songs. Both of Us by Jada G. Eagle Rock made it. I do like Eagle Rock every now and then. I don't think I listen to it that much. You Little Beauty by Fisher. The London by Young Thug, J. Cole, Travis Scott. That's a banger. Solence and Pendulum are my favourites for 2023. I never really got into Pendulum. I Believe by DMAs is in there. God's Plan's in there. I do like Drake apparently. You know, it's funny, if you'd asked me if I like Drake, I would have been like, eh. But I'm pretty sure last year he was my top artist. Who was my top artist this year? Here's my Wrapped. I was going through the playlist of top songs, but this will tell me. Confidence Man, I think, is my favorite artist. Yeah, I do like Confidence Man. Bit embarrassing, but I do like him. Metal and DMB. Interesting. That's a big Australian thing, DMB. Oh, that's not true. It's big everywhere, but particularly in Australia. Father John Misty. Is that what you're saying? Sorry, it was Kyron? It was Kyron, wasn't it? Yeah, Real Love Baby is an all-timer for me. ABC remix. What's the ABC remix? The town I got for the map feature for Wrapped, and an article made about saying if you got it in your speaker. What's the map feature? Is that what? I need an explanation. I don't really understand that, Rogie. Okay. Speaking of Queen, oh wow. Oh no, never mind. Queen was my top artist for June. I do love Queen. I am a huge Queen fan. I was surprised that my entire top 5 was 2000s metalcore. Really, listen to some Ginger Root for the down tempo stuff. Ginger Root. I can't believe Fisher made number 4 for me because I didn't like Fisher that much at the start of this year, and now I love him. Fred again, number 5. Wouldn't have even said I like Fred again that much. G'day, Brandon. I did, mate. Thank you very much. I hope you did as well. Pendulum's remix of the ABC theme. Oh, that rings a bell, actually. In your Spotify Wrapped, one of the features is it gave a city you listen to. Oh, yeah, right. The town I got for the map feature. Right. Oh, that's interesting, Rogie. Okay, now I understand the full context of that. Why? I think mine was Perth. Probably because of Tame Impala. I don't know. They take 3 of your top artists and pick a town that has the most people that listen to that. Yeah, mine was just Perth, which I thought everyone would be similar. DMB is more popular in British than Oz. Yeah, Pendulum was from Perth before maybe. Oh, really? I didn't even know that. I don't think I even really knew where they were from. Cool. I see, Max. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. Now the pronunciation. Yes, I remember you telling me how to pronounce it, and then just at the moment of saying it out of my mouth, I doubted myself. But yeah, that's right. I'm more of a Beyonce Halo man, Brooklyn. Great song too. I swear I like some masculine music. Yeah. So I have a playlist called Walk and Tunes at the moment. What's in my Walk and Tunes one? Oh yeah, this is not going to help my case, but I'm kind of into Kylie Minogue at the moment. Wow. That's okay, I'm a secure man. Oh, you know who I will shout out that I love at the moment is Foals. And I know they've been around for ages, and I have loved them for ages, but I'm really back into them in a big way. In particular, the song 2001. That could be my favourite Foals song, and that's saying something. Brockhampton, Black Country New Road, Kendrick Lamar, The Wonder Years, and Boy Genius. I've literally only ever listened to Kendrick Lamar, and out of that 5, and I've only even heard of Brockhampton as the other one. Burlington. I'm not sure where Burlington is. Brooklyn controversially liked Birds of Tokyo. See, I can never forgive Birds of Tokyo for what they did to our team song, so I disagree. I hate our team song with a flaming passion. Gareth McGrillen was completely lost his Australian accent at this point. It just has a weird English one. Yeah, there's a few people like that. Was Peter Andre Australian? Isn't his accent kind of weird? Harry Cure was another one. Even Margot Robbie's accent has a little twinge to it now. No, Peter Andre's British. My bad. I think he just lived in Australia or married an Australian. No, it wasn't. Katie Price. I don't know. It's fine. Just keep them away from West Coast. Agreed. I will make it legal. Sorry, I had to take that opportunity for a Palpatine quote. But great point. We visibly cringe whenever you say Birds of Tokyo around us. Yeah, I figured you didn't mean the Beyonce one. But yeah, Beyonce's Halo. That's my favourite Beyonce song, for sure. Machine Gun Fellatio. It's pronounced Kelly. Oh my god. Filthy techno rock. I've never even heard of techno rock. Yeah, fair enough, Max. I think I liked Birds of Tokyo when I was younger, and I really went off them. And then then the whole team song thing happened, and I've never really been okay with them since, as you can understand. Oh, who else is in this playlist? Walking Tunes. I opened it up, and I never actually... Ooh, Great Southern Land by Ice House is in here. Real Love Baby, Father John Misty, Eat, Sleep, Wake, Nothing But You by Bombay Basketball Club. That's a beautiful song. Great song. Loving Is Easy by Rex Orange County. Yeah, a few retro ones. Super Styling by Groove Armada. I don't mind that one. 2001 Foals. Oh, you know who I love at the moment, actually? Completely overlooked. The band that I listen to the most at the moment is Parcels. I know they're not necessarily like in vogue right now. They were big around the pandemic, but I just recently discovered their cover of Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue, which is why I got into Kylie's music a bit as well. But then Parcels, I discovered all their other stuff and watched them on YouTube, and I was like, wow, these guys are so good. Top genre was alternative emo. No Fall Out Boy. I liked Fall Out Boy in 2007. That was like right in my era. Fair enough, Brooklyn. Yeah. I think it was about 18 or 17 when they had that big song. I don't want to sing it. I'm trying to play it in my head so I remember. Let me search it. I'm not a huge fan of Lanterns. What was the song Birds of Tokyo did? Oh, sweet return, this is over. I feel like that one. It wasn't Plans, it was another one. Circles. Yeah, I remember liking that at the time. I'm very judgmental when it comes to music. Yeah. See, I'm just like, I don't care. I have an embarrassing sense of taste in music, but I think I'm fairly, I don't know, I think I like a lot of good music. It's just I also like a lot of music that is embarrassing to admit. The amount of friends I have that lack emotional control and music preferences. I've never really listened too much to King Gizzard. I feel like I saw him live in like 2017. They came to Falls Festival? No, Laneway back in February 2017. Did you, Brooklyn? How did that go? Are you a good singer? Not that it matters for karaoke. Circles is fire. Yeah. I did like it at the time, I'll admit. Oh, I didn't know Max was suggesting a song name. I just thought he was saying good lord. I thought he was responding to my my song choices. More so when I'm not going to have a go at people listening to music or say they can't enjoy it, but I'm not going to lie when I think it should. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. That's very reasonable. I just saw in AFL memes, Kane Corns is the biggest flog at footy. Yeah. It's funny, like, I've always kind of felt that he knows what he's doing and he's deliberately provocative, but I saw Tom Morris talking about him the other day on SEN, and he's like, no, he believes everything he says. I was like, oh. Jeez. Yikes. Too many hard solos and tequila shots. That's right. We learnt about what hard solos were last week. Well, I did, sorry. Good first ball from Berendorf. So we have the attack to really challenge them here. We need some early wickets. G'day, Razor Footy. Welcome to True Footy Live. 2 dots for De Kock. Usually I see a GP around that time. Oh, that ball's moving. A bit like Rogers' first over. Good start from Berendorf. Oh, that ball moved. Another reason to see your general practitioner. Or more specialist physician, I don't know. So mature. That ball moved away from De Kock violently. Kane Corns does love the Eagles, doesn't he? And Adam Simpson in particular. Don't you just love the last little drips of cold coffee? I actually don't mind it, but part of me just thinks in my head it's wrong. Petro drowning apocalypse or dawn of eternal light, annihilation of planet Earth on repeat. No, that all sounds very deep and evil. Not evil, what's the word? Dark. Annihilation of planet, yeah, God. Electric cowboy. And a mix of metalcore, EDM, and electronica. Wow, that's such a blend. What is the difference between EDM and electronica as well? Yeah. I don't know if I'd use the word violently. But sounds like all the women in my life. Nah, we're just having fun. Oh, KO just almost carked it. There we go. 1 off the over. Good start. But we know they had a good start too. Oh, this would be a tight game, I reckon. Getting a little El Hungro. Bear with me for 30 seconds. I'm going to go grab... I was going to phrase this poorly. I was going to say I'm going to go to the bathroom and then grab some fudge. That is gross. And we're back. Oh, welcome back, Nyasha. Petrodragonic is them doing another thrash metal album about climate change. Oh, that's cute. I've got my jar of fudge. Oh god, that is loud. Apologies for the acoustics on that one. I was right next to the mic. God. Good fudge. I'm hungry. Hungry man. No more rustling of plastic. Sorry. It is now done. So Richardson into the attack. Oh, beating him all ends up. Went through the inside edge and his leg. Is there a joke in that? Maybe. Probably. I gotta stop. God. It's coming to me so easily. Bowling well, but they started well as well. Just can't let them settle. Another good delivery. Richardson is a gun. Absolute peach. Giving me too much ammo. I know. I can't help it. I do say like innuendos on purpose, and sometimes they just like I just can't phrase a sentence any other way. It just comes out. Ooh. Clark hasn't really hit the ball yet, has to be said. Good stuff, Jai. He's looking a little thicker than he used to. It's probably been like 5 years since I really looked at him. he probably just has aged. Did everyone watch the test today? 3 for 187 does seem like a pretty boring first day. Oh, this is making me want to play Cricket 19. I think that was the last cricket game I had. That was a good game. Big Ant know how to make cricket games. I haven't played Cricket 21 though. I have no idea if that is any good. For some reason, it always bothered me. Like, I think the thing that gave me the bit of the ick around Cricket 21 was that they had the ball marker back on the pitch. I kind of liked it when you didn't have that. Jake says, yeah, it was alright. Cricket 19 I used to sink hours into, which is why I stopped playing, because I was like, I'm just draining all my dopamine every day, not being productive. But it was fun. I used to play. What I used to do was I'd go to either England or India, and I would just make all the pitches day 5 pitches and just make them incredibly hard to bat on. I love test matches like that. Rogi says, I don't really like watching us bat until it gets close to the total. Yeah, it's kind of tense. Good shot from Dick Hock there. No joke necessary. You guys should try meditation if you find you let the intrusive thoughts dominate you. Has anyone in here tried meditation? Or fully understand why people do it? It's for that reason. I dabble. This fudge has an interesting aftertaste. Can't bear it off. We need a wicket. Oh! That must have been 2 inches away from his glove. No jokes. Genesis Owusu. Jazz and hip hop. Interesting. That is a cool mix. I went to a jazz festival in June of this year. I don't really meditate, but I do flotation therapy. Interesting. Owusu, there we go. Flotate. I mean, I presume is literally what it sounds like. You're just sort of like floating in a pool. Right. I can see how, assuming that's what it is, I can see how that would like engage mindfulness. I've always found it very easy to be very mindful in a swimming pool, if that makes sense. There is something relaxing about it. Oh, cracking shot from Quinton. I'm just going to call him Quinton now because they're inviting too many jokes. I suppose that's the intrusive thoughts. Wow. Vacuum cleaner. That's insane. Not calling you insane. I'm just saying that's a horrible thought. I'm trying to think, would it? Probably not, right? Oh, God, that's grim. Oh, wow, that's quite intense, Brooklyn. When I say intense, not the experience itself, but just like the preparation for that is intense. Wow. And you find that helps. Interesting. Richardson back into the attack. Oh, well, actually, excuse me, he never left the attack. He's just the second ball of his spell. Second over. Give me more fudge. I'm having so much fudge, you might as well call me Cornelius. Am I right? Subscribe. Okay, so you kind of thought they were a similar thing. I suppose an impulsive thought is that when you're compelled to do something. Is that the difference? That's the way I think of it in my head. An intrusive thought can just be something that you think about. I feel like an impulsive thought is when you feel compelled to do something, which can be both intrusive and impulsive. I'm guessing. No refunds, Rogie. You're here to stay. Oh, man. Quinton is in some form. That was a good hit. We do deserve to lose this. Come on, guys. Come on. Stick around. I need some help. In more ways than one. 12 Hoops says, hey mate, how do you find the motivation to continue upload before monetization? That's a really good question. Because I set the goal of monetization, I was just fueled by that. If that makes sense. Like literally the goal for when we started the channel was like, we need to get to what was 1,000 subscribers at the time. I think that was it. Maybe no, it was 4,000 hours watch time across a year. And and 1,000 subscribers. I think I just was just fueled by the goal of getting there. How do we get there? So that was kind of just my motivation. Your motivation does change when it's monetized. There's been studies on like whether people, or even I think monkeys, they did this study on like whether when they do activities they enjoy versus when they get like a monetary, there's no such thing as monkey dollars, but whatever it was, like they got a reward for it. As soon as they started getting that reward, they started enjoying the activity less, which was interesting. Could probably relate to that. I probably enjoy the actual process of making videos less, but then again, that's probably a product of doing 977 videos. So to answer your question, I think the motivation was just trying to get to that goal. Every video counted. Basically, you can estimate that like each new video I do might get like 5 new subscribers, or in some cases for a while there back in 2019, like I was getting like 100 subscribers for a video. Like sometimes it ebbs and flows. Sometimes you lose subscribers for a video, but I kind of worked out that every time I upload, I get this many subscribers, this many views, and I eventually just chase down the target. It was just a goal. Okay, Rogie, that's a fairly interesting definition of it. That was more or less what I thought it was. And can be against your morals, yeah. Yeah, that's your subconscious. That's the secret to everything. Not everything. Yeah. Is controlling your subconscious brain. And that's why people do affirmations. And that's why I've been dabbling with them as well. I should be a little bit more dedicated to them. I do them most nights. But you should do it every night for it to work. If you can shape what your subconscious mind is like, you can change what sort of person you become. Quinton needs to loosen up. He is so uptight. A couple of loose shots there, but went for 6. Must be a weird experience watching the game from that high. Four overs, none for 26. Oh, edged. But 1 bounce to the slip. Oh, so the run rate's... It's probably about par, to be honest. Lance Morris also, the new bowler. Nearly struck first ball. Nicely played, Niasha. There you go. That might be a miss hit, but... Yes, got him! Wicket next ball. Very handy. So good start from Morris. Nearly a wicket and then a wicket, and he's gotten the danger man. Although, Renegades do have a pretty dangerous batting lineup, I reckon. But still, he was looking dangerous for us. There's a joke, de Kock and losing something and an edge. Yeah, definitely. There is some... I was thinking the same thing, Rogie, but I was like, nah, just leave it. After my Cornelius Fudge joke, I've really lost confidence with you guys. Nah, Rogie, you gotta manifest this. You gotta manifest this success. No, I don't believe in that. I do believe in manifesting. I don't believe that you can manifest results like your team winning. I don't know. The Gades still have a deep batting lineup. So so Clark is a good batsman. Who else we got? Fraser McGurk is dangerous. Nick Maddenson's decent. Sean Marsh obviously is good. Wells less so. Sutherland can hit. So I think they've got... Oh, nice one, Rogie. I did fudge it, didn't I? I think they've got the tools to make this happen. We just need to keep taking wickets. Do you think the Gades slow start is just bad luck or some poor form from the middle order? Good question. I'll maybe defer to Rogie, who's probably watched it more than me, because I must admit, like, I've been away from it from a little bit. When I'm not streaming, I've actually not been watching the BBL as much, considering the YouTube videos that I did not do well. So I was like, I'll just relax about it. McGurk just as likely to get out for a duck as he is to get 50. Agreed. But he's still dangerous. And the longer he stays at the crease, the more nervous I'll get. By the way, 20 in the chat, guys. Thank you very much. If you chuck a like on the stream, that would be very helpful for me for the algorithm, if you haven't already. But the middle order has been atrocious. Well, hopefully it continues to be atrocious for one more game. Do we drop Connolly? Who else have we got in the team to bring in? I feel like Connolly probably needs to be dropped. A bit like Maxwell, either out for a lot for very little, even if not at the levels. Yeah, agreed. And the longer Maxwell stays in the crease, the more screwed the opposition is. Like if he's just chipping away and gets to 20 unconvincingly, like he's still thinking, oh shit, he's getting his iron now. Morris to Clark. Clark hasn't looked too settled yet. Oh, they shouldn't call that a wide. And they have. Yeah, fair enough. It was down the leg side and he moved the opposite way. But I feel like it might not have. I feel like I might have hit the batsman. I don't know. It's probably a wide. My KO keeps letting me down. I think he needs to drop down the orders as Nyasha. Yeah, maybe like as a finisher. Who else do we have that could open the batting? I suppose you could open with Inglis, right? Yeah, I agree. The old appeal as though they heard a noise. Yeah, a bit pointless. He got absolutely nowhere near hitting that. So I don't even know why he threw the ball up. Oh, he's going to run it. Yeah, good single. Great over for Morris. 1 for 3 off it. 1 for 29 off 5. Could you outstare Andrew Dye? Probably not. Speaking of ties in the attack, I think I'm a little bit behind you guys. So you just come up on the screen now for me. I feel like he hasn't played well so far, Ty. Decent start, but Clark was nowhere near that. Clark has not started well, but... Any advice for a fellow person who's going to Curtin next year? Is this your first year at uni, Jake? Advice. Good question. I need to know more. Are you... how far are you living from uni? What are you studying? I need to know more. Angazi used to make a mean chicken burger. I'll give you that tip. Really, really big fan of that. And well priced at like $11 for a massive burger. And chips. Really good chips too. Don't know if they still do it. One thing I probably wish I'd done a little bit more is go to like TAB events at Curtin. But the reason I asked like how far do you live, because it was kind of a pain in the ass if you didn't live close. I think Uber, this is showing how old I am, but I don't think Uber was like a thing when I first went to uni. 15 minutes away studying biomedical. There you go. Well, I'd probably hit up the TAB. Do you know anyone you're doing your degree with? Or are you gonna go there like as a kind of new kid on the block and not know anyone? Shit bloke, so he's brought bad vibes. Is he a shit bloke, Clark? Ooh, a lot of short deliveries from Ty. Good delivery, that one. I just kind of reminded of the back chat with Dom Sheed where he said that AJ Ty was his favourite Scorcher, and then he met him at a party and didn't know who he was. Oh, unlucky. Great shot from Clark. That's the first one he's really middled. Oh, he might be out. What? Oh, KO's not working. I didn't realise Ty hit that. Or touched that. If he's touched that, he's gone for all money. Fraser McGurk would be the one out here. He looks sad. Yeah, so if Ty reckons he's hit that, he probably has. Oh, impossible to tell from that angle. Well, he's miles out of his crease, so it just comes down to whether he's touched it. How can you... They're saying clearly deviation? I don't know. Is Clark not a great guy? Yeah, right. I have no idea. I don't think you can tell whether he's touched it. I'm guessing he probably has by the reactions of all the players. Oh, I don't think that's clear. Oh, imagine you could do hotspot. That'd be funny. He's mates with a guy who sexually assaulted someone and was a character witness for the guy in the court case. Right. Sounds complicated. Oh, they're saying clear deviation. They're going to say he's out. That's crazy. That's just the sort of Gade's luck. Ah, poor guy. Poor Fraser McGurk. It was a cracking shot too. That makes sense because when Clark hits that and he hit the stumps, he sort of threw his bat up, and I was like, he's just disappointed because he finally middled one and didn't get any runs. But he must have known immediately that this was out. Yeah, Clark knows. You can tell by the reaction. Fraser McGurk is less sure. Wow. Well, he did well to get a foot to it, I guess. That was the skill involved, I suppose. Otherwise, it's a very lucky wicket. Sean Marsh, at his former home ground, comes out to bat. Hopefully it's a short stay. Much as I love Sean Marsh. An average in a 40 in a Big Bash career is very good. Just the Gade's luck. Yeah, that is unlucky. Fair play. Wide from Morris. Remember when that happened to Finchie in the final when we won? It was funny. He smashed a plastic chair with his bat, did he? Well, Sean Marsh finished his career as a Scorcher. How long does he have left? Ty kisses his boot. Realistically, how long does Sean Marsh have in his career? Like 1 year after this? I don't know. It'd be nice to see him finish as a Scorcher, but we probably couldn't really afford him. We might retire at the end of his contract. That would make sense. It's a good game. I've been treated to a good Big Bash game here. Ooh, decent shot there from Marsh. Will easily make it to the rope. Yeah, it might be weird for him. I don't know. Or he probably just doesn't take it that seriously. Like, I wonder if you just find, like, temporary accommodation in Melbourne. Like, that would be such a cool experience. Just stay there for, like, a few months. It'd be a cool, fun gig. Like, if I was... As much as I'd like to play for the Scorchers to start, I would like to go play for the Melbourne Stars for a year. You know what I mean? And the Sydney Sixers. Like, it'd be cool just to hop around the country like that for short periods. It's kind of a unique experience for them. Not as funny as the Stars collapse when they had the final one in BBL. Oh dear, when was that? And who was that against? It wasn't against us, was it? I don't retain a lot of Big Bash knowledge, as you can tell. Oof. Two for 41 off 6.3. Stars of that shit, you probably make the team as well, yeah. I think if I'd stayed in Australia, I really would have pursued cricket a lot deeper. Not saying I would have actually made the Stars. But I think it was kind of a... it'd be interesting to have pursued sport into adulthood. I never really did that because I moved away. Kind of jealous of those people who are now playing sports like as adults. And I'm like, I've spent too far away from it. I can't really get back into it. Renegades and Stars final 08. Ah. Oh, good delivery there from Morris. The bowling's been pretty good. There's been a few wides, generally. But the bowling has been good. Run a ball, 2 wickets down. It's pretty even still. Bit of a partnership takes the game away from us. A couple of regular wickets would equally take the game away from them to some extent. Darcy says, why did you leave Australia? Do you mean this year, or because I just sort of mentioned I left Australia when I was a kid? So when I was a kid, my dad got a job in the Middle East and we went and lived there for 5 years. So that was the first reason. The second reason was like this year I moved to England because I was just a bit sick of Perth, and I have mates in the UK, and I just thought, once in a lifetime thing. I was 29. I was like, this is the last year I can get the visa. So I just decided, why not change my life dramatically. I'm really glad I did it as well. But I'll be back. I'll be back in about a year. I might be the first... Nah, probably not the first, but one of the first Australians to get a 2-year working visa in the UK and not get a job. Surely that's not common. Oh, Connolly's into the attack. Immediately dispatched for 6 by Marsh. He is... Oh, it's Agar, sorry. I assumed it was Connolly. I like how it's called Toyota 6. Thanks, James. I've been thinking about maybe doing some content like that on a second channel. Like, I don't know how regularly, but I did a podcast, like a podcast back in 2021 or 2020 actually, with my roommate called Cold World. That's on YouTube somewhere. That I was thinking of clipping up, putting on a second channel because they didn't get a lot of views. But maybe if I clip it up, it might stimulate the algorithm a bit more, and just dabbling with some of the other stuff I think about outside of footy on a second channel. I've been thinking about it, but I've kind of just been a little bit busy. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe if I get time sometime soon, I'll just fire up the second channel again. But I'm glad you like them. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry, I missed that quote from Reese saying, I love that Josh Brown went from making bats to somehow opening for the Heat. That's crazy. Didn't know that. All right, Brooklyn. Yeah, I lived in Bangkok with my family for the first 8 years of my life. Chum Fei. Forgive me for saying that wrong. I definitely did. For someone that used to live there, I don't know the pronunciation of things. Chum Fei. I need 8.96 and over. Need to get Clark stuck on strike. KO just intermittently messing up a little bit. Is that a single to Clark? They get to single. 12 off Agar's first over is not ideal. Could go for another wicket or two soon, as it were. It's pronounced Chun Pe. Chun Pe? Oh, Chun Pe. Really? That is not phonetic at all. Interesting. Ooh. Do you think the AFL would benefit from an atmosphere more similar to European football? And if it is possible, as often feels dead and potentially too family friendly? No, I think European football, particularly in the UK, probably is a bit far. We don't want people going to games being like, "Oh, be careful tonight," which is, I think, is definitely the case in the UK. That being said, some more chanting and stuff like that to keep the game alive would be better, but I don't know if they benefit from it as such. I think you'd say the AFL would benefit more from families being able to take. That would be like, from a business point of view, more conducive to like long-term revenue if families feel like they can go to the footy. But the chanting for 90 minutes is a cool part of soccer. Like, it is never quiet. Whereas in the AFL, like, sometimes there'll be a stoppage on a wing and it's just kind of like in between the cheering. Oh, there you go, Brooklyn. Thank you. Oh, what's your dad doing there? I presume it's for work, or is it just for lifestyle? They go for 6. Come on, man. Marsh is... This is what it feels like to be on the other end of Sean Marsh, and not in a good way. Twenty-one from 10 is not what I'd like to see. Morris steaming in after being top head for 6. KO just keeps freezing at the critical moment. Oh, we need to get Marsh out. You can keep Clark in with his 14 off 20. Now, obviously, they're both kind of dangerous, but... I wish, Jake. Oh, good shot by Clark. Well, not actually that well timed. It looked good. Do you think the Giants will ever crack 50k members? What are they? I don't know what they are off the top of my head, James. What are they at? I do think eventually, yeah. It is naturally louder at European football matches as the venues are smaller and the AFL the venues are a lot bigger. Yeah, good point. Good point. The acoustics do matter. I've been to Old Trafford and it's kind of like enclosed, so it's just echoes. It reverberates. Exactly. It's a good point. But also there's just more constant cheering as well. Is something I noticed, like chanting for the whole 90 minutes. Which in the AFL you don't really get. You sort of cheer, reacting to things happening. Another 6. This game is going in a direction I don't like. Oh, there you go, Brooklyn. Nice. Good place to retire, I reckon. Beautiful. I'm back with my dinner and a 2-minute noodle cup. Wait, is that the dinner or is the 2-minute noodle cup supplementing the dinner? Making me hungry. It is 1 o'clock and my favourite place for breakfast with my coffee was closed, so I had to settle for a little bacon sandwich and I'm a hungry boy. I could eat in front of you, but I won't. I'll hold off. This game's probably got another hour or so. How much did it cost to go to Old Trafford? Oh, mate, it was like 500 Australian. It was against Liverpool, so it was like the biggest game you could go to. But this was when I was on holiday last year and I wasn't dirt poor. So I was like, you know what, I want to do it. And I really want to go to Anfield at some point. Marvel Stadium has the potential to be the best for atmosphere. Good point. Yeah. Interesting. So what, are you saying at Marvel it sounded louder, Reese, because of the enclosed nature, or the opposite? It is the dinner. Oh, there you go. Oh, AKA. I read it as and. My bad. Yeah, I've got a ready-made curry in the fridge that I'm going to microwave soon. I did a tour at Marvel when in like 2005, January 2005, and yeah, I remember thinking it was cool, but it was empty, so it wasn't really the same as being at a game there. I'd like to go to a game there maybe in 2025. Yeah, Ash wants to go to Lords. That'd be cool. I've done a tour of Lords as well, again, when I was a kid, like 2008. But I've not seen a cricket match there. Opposite Suncorp being more enclosed and sounded louder. There you go. There you go. I don't know what Suncorp looks like, to be honest. I'm very ignorant to rugby. Butter chicken slaps. Mine's a chicken korma. Really? Why is it more expensive? I'm surprised that Marvel's more expensive than the G, but I suppose with the G, it's never really going to sell out, right? Well, very rarely. But Marvel, I feel like, doesn't sell out that much, does it? Maybe every now and then. Maybe more often, yeah. Yeah, the MCG is cold, Reese. I was freezing in the 2018 Grand Final. And it was probably way warmer than it is here right now. To be fair, I wear a puffer jacket these days. I think I just wore a jumper back then. I haven't had fish and chips here yet. There is a fish and chips here, a place here like in town, but I've never actually partaken. What year was Richmond versus Lions at the G for you, Reese? What was the last time? Yeah, Marvel doesn't have many games over 90%. I wouldn't have thought so. Being at the G for Anzac Day this year. Oh, I bet. Yeah, that's something I definitely want to experience. Be hard to get a ticket, but like I said, I do want to live in Melbourne at some point in my life, so... What are my thoughts on True Geordie? So first of all, I still love True Geordie. I just think he made a bad mistake. So the last thing he did was I'm trying to think, what are all the things he's been cancelled for? So he got, not cancelled, but he got a lot of hate for like the leaked DMs. I don't really care about that. Then he made, the most thing was, so he was talking to Andrew Tate, they were clashing, and he made a bad joke about him being Muslim, and that, it was, if I may quote it, he said something like, well, if you're really a Muslim, you should go blow yourself up, or something really ignorant and offensive. And he immediately got shit canned for that. And yeah, rightfully so. You shouldn't say shit like that. But at the same time, I also think he said that more so out of anger at Andrew Tate, and he sort of acting childishly, and made a childish joke that is pretty much something akin to saying like a your mum joke, which, you know, is deeply offensive. But I think if you look at it, what was really happening there, it was just him being an idiot rather than being hateful, which I think is important to remember. And that's why, like, he tried to rehabilitate his image to some extent by getting on a few Islamic YouTubers, which I really enjoyed that podcast. He does a really good podcast with Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like, I think he's done enough to win back some respect. But as for the people leaving him, I can't... I don't want to assume that they left him, like they abandoned him. But I think it's kind of obvious with the way he talks about him. He's kind of implied that he's done with him. And I think... Yeah, I unfollowed Rory Jennings because I was just like, it's a little bit cringe to now follow Rory Jennings, who's gone on and made the show The Club, which is, or part of the show The Club, which is kind of just the same concept, just somewhere else. Like, it's a little bit lame. I think they should have stuck fat with him. As for Lawrence, I don't know what the deal is there. I think it's not as obvious that he's abandoned True Geordie. He may have just said, hey, like, we're going to stop working together publicly, but we're still friends, and that would be enough for me. I'd like to think they don't hate each other. That would suck. That would make me sad. But Lawrence's wife is Muslim. So I understand why, if his wife was not cool with it, why Lawrence would be in a really difficult spot there. Oh, KO just died right as somebody was going for a catch. Burley Heads, Gold Coast, Queensland has an amazing British fish and chips haddock, big sausage, wink, mushy peas and vinegar. There you go. Good shout out. 2019, last game of the regular season, we got belted by the Tigers. Yeah, right. Yeah, 2019. Obviously, the Tigers won the premiership that year. That makes sense. Are you reading any good books or audiobooks? You know what? This is bad, but I've fallen into this trap of more like watching stuff than reading. I have 2 books on the go. One of them is called Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill or something like that. I think it's like nearly a century old, that book. Something like that. And that's more about like manifesting goals and stuff. I'm only about halfway through it. And I also have Mark Manson's second book, Everything is Fucked, a book about hope, that I'm halfway through, and that is really good. I think Mark Manson's a smart guy, and I like psychology, as evidenced by those 2 books. And Mark Manson is this really good way of like being intelligent, but just also coming across as just a dude and explaining concepts in a very relatable way. Doesn't come across as deeply intellectual, but he's also really smart. What about you, Nyasha? Rogue Wright says, literally the only thing I know about True Geordie is that he apparently likes when girls shit on his chest. Yeah, but that's undeniable. I think the way he clarified that was that I don't think he's ever actually done that. It's just that he got caught up in the moment. I mean, I don't really care either way. When he got cancelled for that, my first reaction was, oh, thank God he's not a sex offender or a pedophile or something, like stuff that you just cannot forgive. That was my first reaction. I was like, oh, thank God he just likes girls shitting on his chest. I was like, now I can continue to like him. That's good. What a weird phrase. Oh, thank God he just likes women shitting on his chest. Now I can continue to like him. You know what I mean. I was relieved it wasn't something where there was like a victim. You know what I mean. Jordan Peterson gets me moving. Yeah, okay. I like Jordan Peterson. The thing is, he just kind of loses me every now and then. He just says something that's a little bit like weird or eccentric, but I think at his base level, like a lot of his core stuff is just trying to help young men sort their shit out, and I've definitely gotten value out of that before. I think you can be selective with who you enjoy content from. Jordan Peterson's one I'm probably selective of. Sometimes he just... Like, I've seen him quizzed on religion before, and I just think, like... I actually don't have any issues with his views. It's more so just the way he expresses himself. I'm like, you talk a lot of shit, man. You're a smart guy. But I think on the whole he does some good stuff. Just finished some Shoe Dog Phil Knight memoir creator Nike. Memoir creator Nike. Shoe Dog Phil Knight. Yeah, right. And started The Art of Risk. Interesting. Wow. That would be a cool book. The Rescue the Tight Kids. Wow. How was the Shoe Dog Phil Knight memoir creating Nike? I think I know what you mean. How was that? Shoe Dog Phil Knight memoir. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand the construct of that sentence, but I get what you mean. I'm sure Peterson helps a lot of people, but I hate Jordan Peterson. Why do you hate Jordan Peterson? You just find him annoying, or is it something he said in particular? I think that's a fairly decent summary there, Rogie. Smart when it comes to psychology and self-help stuff, but he can be a moron for anything outside of his expertise. Yeah, I mean, I just don't even engage with a lot of stuff. Like, I don't listen to him on politics or anything like that. I'm intrigued by his take on religion, although, like I said, he sometimes dances around the issue. And I found this compelling video that was about him. They were saying, oh, does he actually believe in God? He talks a lot about how it's important to believe in God, but I think Alex O'Connor, who's a really good atheist and philosophy kind of YouTuber, sort of deconstructed on Peterson and sort of suggested that he doesn't think Peterson actually believes in God. He just thinks that it's a better world if people do believe in God, which I found interesting. Someone should give Elon Risk and watch him have a meltdown. God, he'd probably be very good at Risk. Do I think Toby Green's overhated? I think he's a bit of a dog, but I think people like him despite that. I think he's won a lot of people over lately. But he is also a bit of a dog. I don't hate him. Until he kicks an Eagles player in the face, then I'll hate him. I'm being asked what's my religion by the football god, and I feel pressure to say football because of your username. Nah, I am officially atheist. Actually, that's not true. I'm officially Christian Anglican because I was baptized, but I am an atheistic man. But I explore religion. I find it interesting. I like it. I like the best aspects of it. I see why people are religious, and I think it's good for people on a micro level. Of course, there's downsides to religion, and I don't accept everything that religion says. But I respect it a lot more as I get older. But ultimately, there's things that I just don't accept. As a Bulldogs supporter, I used to hate him, but I'm over it now. He is brilliant to watch. Yeah, he is so good. My dislike comes from a lot of his views on social issues and that he's generally the type of person to gateway kids into that alt-right pipeline. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know if I watch a lot of his stuff on social issues that much, and that's probably why I don't have strong views on him in that sense. This is what I mean. Like, I feel like you can watch people on certain issues and then reject the rest and just take what you think is compelling. And I think Andrew Tate is a good example of that. I think you can watch Andrew Tate and take most of what he says and take great value of it, and you can ignore what he thinks about certain things, which is what I do. I like Andrew Tate for certain things about him. I like Jake Paul for certain things about him, but I don't want to be like Jake Paul. I just don't think you need to look at someone and accept them as an entire product, and then well, equally, you don't want to reject someone's entire thing because you don't like one aspect of them, because you can learn from the other part. That's the way I see it anyway. Football God says religion's important. I think it's really helpful. That's probably what I would say. But ultimately, if you just can't bring yourself to believe, then it's hard to really embrace it, if that makes sense. But I did do a big deep dive. I've watched a lot of content on religion. Do I think cola should be brought back? What are the arguments for bringing cola back? Cost of living allowance for anyone who didn't follow. As this cricket game is getting stankier, Renegades completely in control now. I actually forgot about the Green bashing, to be honest. I don't think of Green. I think of him kicking a couple of players deliberately and staring down the umpire. And the bashing thing is crazy, actually. Is religion poor in Australia? What do you mean? What do you mean poor? Sorry. Some of the YouTubes like Baz Train needs Jesus. Who's Baz Train? I need to search it. I feel like I know that name. I've just kind of forgotten. I just searched Baz Train and I cannot find a YouTube account. I'm probably being ignorant there. How do you balance viewing self-help content and actually taking action? Good question. Really good question. So the first thing I did... Oh my god. Sorry, it is a good question, and I just want to see what happens with this. I'm sure that's going to be out. Okay, much needed wicket. Marsha's still there, which hurts, but still needed that. How do you balance viewing self-help content? I mean, yeah. The first thing I did is just expose myself to as much of that content as possible and have it ultimately impact my subconscious, but I don't know what it is that makes you actually start doing it. I think I just eliminated a lot of stuff that I think doesn't help me. Like a lot of the content that I watch, other than playing The Sims right now. Like I just constantly surrounded by people talking about doing shit. And I think that just subconsciously made a shift for me. I think that's the first step. But going from point A to point B, well, this is what I mean. Like, this is why affirmations are helpful, I think. Because the idea of affirmations while I sleep is basically like convincing yourself you are the person you want to become in the future. You got to convince yourself you're already that person. And then you start making little decisions as though you're that person, if that makes sense. But I don't know if there's a more profound answer other than that than just saying simply get started. Depends as well what you mean by self-help content, because that can be varied. But I found I'm in my most great rhythm when I'm very selective about the content that I watch. Like, for instance, when I first started this YouTube channel, like I was watching a lot of Gary Vee, because he's really good for a very early part of the phase where you are trying to go from, is it worth starting, to starting, like that phase. And then I realized I hit a point where Gary Vee's content wasn't good enough or like stimulating it for me anymore, because I'd already started. I needed something to get me from point B to C, not point A to B. And then I sort of went to a phase where I just started watching The Office again, and not saying you can't watch The Office, but like I wasn't watching anything that was uplifting. And somewhere along the line, your motivation drops subconsciously. I would say Christianity in Australia is not very strong, not very practical, nearly as much as it used to, and a lot of disagreement of what it stands for. Yeah, Australia is a pretty atheistic country, that's for sure. Baz Train goes to streams such as Cardman Blaze. His YouTube has... okay. Right. That's probably why I don't know him. About 39% of people in Australia have last census answered that there were no religion. A bunch would have also answered Christian despite not actually being religious. That's true, yeah. I probably would also tick Christian if it was a census thing, only because I was baptized. That's the only reason. Your grandma's very religious. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's just a newer generation. We're just getting a little bit more atheistic than we used to be. A lot more. But then there's this whole subset of people as well that do believe in God and a higher power that don't subscribe to a particular religion, like the Abrahamic religions. They're just like, yeah, I believe in God and a higher power, but they don't consider themselves Christian. Basically, all one side of my family is very actively religious, yeah. Family's very conservative. Yeah, they're interesting. It's funny, like, somewhere along the line in my family, we just stopped talking about religion. Like, when I was a kid, I was baptized. But, I mean, there's other reasons to get baptized, right? Like, I think it's certain private schools in Australia you have to be baptized, which is a consideration for parents. I was probably only baptized because it's like a family tradition. We just all were. But, you know, other than being read the Bible, like I had the kids' Bible when I was a kid. Other than that, like I don't think my parents ever talked to me about God. And I just kind of forgot about it, to the point where as an adult, I was surprised to learn that my dad and my sister like actually believed in God. And I was like, oh, I just thought we were all atheists. That's how little it got talked about. I didn't even know. I think my dad and my sister do believe in God. My other sister is very atheist, and I am probably atheist who tried very hard to believe in God and didn't. Believe me, I've tried. Irish Catholic stock, but I don't ever remember going to church. Interesting. My mum was Catholic, my dad's Protestant. Which you think would be fiery. I to this day don't know if my mum believed in God. I really don't know the answer to that. Interesting. I don't think I was baptized, and I don't think I've talked about God with people outside of my high school, which was Catholic school. There you go. Yeah, it's just not a core value of Australia. I mean, you could certainly argue that in some ways it would be better, but I mean, we're a pretty progressive country. Our sense of morals and social responsibility is pretty damn good in Australia. That's not the issue. I actually would think more from a mental health point of view is probably where the lack of religion might have might have been helpful. Sorry, no, more religion would have been helpful from a mental health point of view, which is what a lot of the podcast with. Actually, that's not true. It's not what the podcast was with True Footy, but it's kind of what I got out of it. People changing their lives and having structure and faith. I got Catholic school and mum and dad both born in Iraq. Oh, right. So Christian Iraqi, obviously, if you went to a Catholic school, I presume. Most atheists I've met went to Catholic school. Well, yeah, as far as I understand, like a lot of the decent private schools in Australia are religious schools. I went to church twice, and it was only a way of company of being with my family who lived very far away. Okay. It's another thing because my Catholic school also had people from different religions as students. I mean, that's good. Yeah, it's interesting. So the Catholic school would have like maybe Muslim students, Rogi? Is that what you're saying? That's interesting. I mean, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear there's not like genuine discrimination, but at the same time, it does surprise me a little. Usually, religion is like the one area where they're just like, no, you have to be Catholic. We can be discriminative. I mean, it's fine to have purely schools or like a purely Muslim school, a purely Catholic school. That's fine, but you also want to have options. You don't want to be excluded because there's lack of options. Like actually being Catholic wasn't a requirement. Yeah, gotcha. What are people's perceptions of Australia overseas? Surfboards, blonde hair, blue eyes, mustaches. Everyone's handsome. So they pretty much nailed it. Good weather. I think on Kentucky, though, it was interesting some of the reactions to the Australians because, like, Kentucky's are mostly Australian, a handful of Canadians, a couple of Americans, but mostly Australian. And particularly in my first one, I think the Americans kind of just thought, geez, these Australians are fucking crazy. But it was kind of just that group. Oh, that's probably not true. Australian tourists do run amok, particularly in Croatia. A little bit in Greece. So probably that wild card element would be some of the perception of people who have encountered us travelling. I'm not one of those wild card Australians, but yeah. Someone have issues with religion as an institution, no issue on a personal faith level. That's fair. That's a fair assessment, Rogi. Probably agree with that. G'day, Hee. Good, mate. Yeah, I'm doing really well. How are you? Feel like we haven't chatted for a little while. Top edge, please be out. I feel like they're kind of coasting. We really need them to collapse here. I remember getting annoyed during religious education. That's true, Reese. I agree. I suppose it's just hard to do that. I don't know. But I get your point. You might as well just teach one. You might as well give them an introduction to them all. Yeah, if it's a truly religious class. But then again, if it's a Christian school, they're going to espouse their own values. So, but yeah, I get what you mean. That's true. That especially swearing on the Bible is an interesting dynamic in America because it's like, oh, you're under oath. Oh, okay, you can't be lying. It's kind of a semi-powerful thing. Well, athlete from another sport with the best suit of the AFL. Well, you'd probably be looking at the NBA. Like, I don't think... Or the Gaelic competitions, but I don't know any of them by name. But yeah, probably the NBA. Oh, no, that's not true. Maybe some NFL players. But I'm not really across those leagues, to be honest. I'm sure Cristiano Ronaldo would have been a brutal AFL player. had he been trained that way. I don't know how tall he is. Is he like 6'1"? It's pretty good height for a midfielder. 6'2". Yeah. He would have probably smashed it as an AFL player. In school, in religion class, we did learn about other religions. Gotcha. People are more conservative in Queensland? Is that what you're saying, Brooklyn? Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. And that's... Yeah, one of the downsides to religion is intolerance. Which is the part I don't agree with, obviously. But some rugby fullbacks. True. I don't know much about rugby, so... Well, it's still illegal to lie once you've sworn in the Bible. Yeah, that's true. Well, it's illegal to lie in a courtroom anyway, right? Like perjury. That's its own law. But that's true in Australia too. If you could stop one crime from happening again, but to do it, you'd have to commit that crime once. Oh, God, Rogie. God, I hate these. Alright. That's a real ethical dilemma, that one. You'd probably... I'm thinking murder, obviously. But maybe you could swing it in a way that you just murder someone that really deserves it. So you'd pick like the most psychopathic, evil criminal in prison. Murder them. But then again, do I have to pull that off? Because that's hard. That's completely different kettle of fish. Give me a gun from a safe distance. But that'd be the one I choose. Then again, if it's just a murder a random person thing, then obviously I wouldn't do that. And also, would I be culpable, legally culpable? Would I go to jail for killing that evil pedophile? How did we get here? Oh, Rogie, you must be happy with the way this is going. That's a good question, James. I reckon Jurgen Klopp would be the one I'd like to play for. Seems like such a cool dude. I can listen to him talk all the time. Obviously gets results. Seems to have a happy dressing room. What about you guys? $35 off 21. So it's not a foregone conclusion. Like, if we get Marsh out, we could put some pressure back on, but you do feel very much that Marsh has this in the bag. Oh my God, literally the next ball he got him out. Game's back on. Game's back on. Important. Oh, Nyasha, that was your answer to that. That's smart. That's smart, actually. No one lied in court. We'd have a much better legal system. I didn't actually put that together. That's a smart answer. But then do I go to jail for saying that? For doing that? I don't know. You want to play for Jose? Or Jose? Jose. The commentator goes, yeah, seriously. Although I was actively trying to make that happen. They're not gone, Brooklyn. I still think the Gades are more than 50-50 to win this. Wells. So you got Wells and Sutherland. Sutherland can hit. It's a good game. Good game of cricket so far. How the last 3 overs will go will dictate just how good a game it is. Ooh, thick edge to third man. Wells is not a super strong batter, and Madison is impulsive. But is he intrusive? And Phil Jackson, Clarko, Malthouse, and Woosher. Oh, Woosher, interesting. Like Woosher would have been a hard man to please. I see what you mean, Rogie. 7 off 10. We'll see. Alex Ferguson's a good shout. Oh, good delivery. Well batted. Oh, does he save the single or they run? They've run one. Good over. Sort of. 9 off it. A good little comeback here from the Scorchers. Was it 2 for 25 off the last 4 or 1 for 25? Either way, that's a good 4 over spell. I'm going to go for El Tinklo, and then we'll be back for the last 3 overs. Favourite conspiracy theory is a juicy one. I don't know. I'll go basic bitch, but I think 9/11 is smelly. Oh, was there a wicket? Oh, hasn't happened yet on my screen. 9/11, I think is. Don't want to say favourite because it's not exciting, but it's certainly very compelling. And even the Diana one, the way Princess Diana died, that's interesting. I completely missed this wicket. KO's kind of messing up. There'll be a replay. It just sort of skipped ahead and now he's out. So Sutherland in probably does help. I kind of agree with you there, Rogie. This guy can hit. Strike rate 134 is average. I'm sorry, is decent. Gade's doing their best to Gade. Oh, Jake, that's a good one actually. UFOs, I kind of forgot. Yeah, so I watched a good documentary by Jesse Michaels. This guy on YouTube. Berendorf runs in. Yeah, if you want to find it, it's good. It's Jesse Michaels, Michels, and he's doing some really good content in that space. And he talks about the UFO whistleblower who came out in the US Supreme Court and talked about some of the things they found, which was a really fascinating watch. I think the idea that aliens are actually time-traveling humans is a really, really interesting idea. So that's probably my favourite in the sense that's kind of exciting, whereas obviously talking about Diana and 9/11 is not exciting as such. Because it's, obviously dark. JFK is Olstanko for sure, I agree. So is Madison run out? Is that the replay I'm seeing here? Or is that a new run out? Because that doesn't look out to me. I think this is a new run out. I think he's fine. Hang on. I'd give that not out. I still like the joke that the biggest proof of aliens is that they're smart enough to stay away from us. Yeah. Or are they? Or are they among us? Madison was caught. I see. I missed that entirely. There was something in Mexico where they had some recessions recently with the government's investigation or something. Don't know much about that. Another guy I've been interested to watch is Aubrey Marcus. He's really into like spirituality and different dimensions and psychedelics and stuff. I don't necessarily buy everything he says, but he just gets some good guests on. Super spiritual. He says he was abducted, which is hard to accept on face value. But I think he was on a trip. Like he said he was tripping. And then he said he felt these these beings trap him and say, you're being abducted, we just want to show you how it feels. Like, yeah, crazy stuff. It's hard to accept that that's real. Transgender athletes. It's a tough question, man. Like, to some extent, there are some cases where, like, it is fair for them to compete, and there's some cases where it's not. And it's just so nuanced that it's hard to come up with a rule, right? There are some cases where there's an advantage and some cases where there's not. So I don't really feel qualified. Like transgender footballers, right? Like I remember Hannah Mounsey. See, Hannah Mounsey was a big human. And admittedly, like, not that good from what I was told. Like, wasn't necessarily dominating or hurting women. But at the same time, there's the potential for it. And yet there are other transgender athletes that play in the women's competition that have, had a more dramatic change to their physique, and it clearly is a level playing field because of the hormone stuff. So, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I guess that's me just sitting on the fence. This game has low-key changed now. 27 off 11 has really gone the other way. Only Madison can turn a run rate to 13. What exactly did Madison get? Oh, good Yorker. Well bowled, Richo. Yes, son. 9 off 14 didn't help, yeah. It really was kind of just Marsh and a bit of DeCock. Sounds like my fun Saturday night. In this innings. And Joe Clark's played a steadying hand as well. Oh, it's a cracking shot from Wells. That helps. Do you think there is a cultural problem if the AFL, if no player has come out in the AFL as gay? It's an interesting one because, like, I should be responsible on a platform and not think of specific examples. But there's someone in mind that I think is obvious. And my best guess is that all his teammates know. And he's accepted within that group. So I would suggest that it's not necessarily the teammates that players, at least this current generation, it would have been different 10, 20 years ago. In this current generation, they're probably good telling their teammates, and that's all that matters. It's just that nobody's taken the step of actually coming out to the broader Australian or footballer watching community, and that's where the fear is, the fear of online hate. I mean, there's a lot of like hate based on race, right? Like from social media and at games. So players opening themselves up to that sort of attention, I can understand why they don't want to. Might be run out. So I don't know to what extent all their teammates know, because if their teammates know, then there's not necessarily a problem with football culture. Where we at? Danny Laidley was after the fact. True. Silly question. Does Danny Laidley actually like men? Not that it matters, but like, was Dean Laidley a homosexual man? Because I probably shouldn't be talking about this on a fucking cricket podcast or stream. I agree, Rogie. I think that's the roadblock. I agree. The message players get are already disgusting. Yeah, I mean, if you just get messages based on your race, like, you extrapolate that. Darcewell has a girlfriend. Rogie, that was the namer that I was omitting. But there are definitely obviously gay AFL players, which don't know. Does he have a girlfriend? That a little surprised by that. Interesting. But yeah, to conclude that chat, I'd say it's the media and fans where the fear would lie. I'm gonna have a little bit more fudge. Oh, shot. Oh, well fielded. Oh no, I thought he kept it in. That would have been great. 17 from the last over, even with that 4. She's some Triple J radio host. I did not know that. That is actually kind of crazy. Oh well, good for him. I'm so surprised by that. What are we predicting? I know Rogie and Brooklyn are going to say their Renegades are going to lose, but this is tough. Tough to call. Important game too. These two sides had to share points. I didn't eat all that fudge. I'm just hungry. Come on, AJ. I've lost a lot of confidence in Ty. He's bowled well today. None for 18 off 3. Ooh, dot ball. Misfield means I'll get 2. That's annoying. Oh, bloody KO. Yeah, one thing that Darcy Moore did that made me laugh was, you remember that time where everyone thought he looked like Kieran Knightley and he was kind of being memed? Hang on, I'm just going to watch this next ball. Oh, middled. Caught. Yes, big wicket. That might be it. I love Darcy Moore's reaction to that. He got interviewed after a game. He's like, what do you think of everyone saying you look like Keira Knightley? And he's just like, oh my God, I am so flattered. I love Keira Knightley. I thought that was adorable. And a really good way to handle it. Brooklyn says, good night, Renegades. I think you're right, Brooklyn. I think that might have been it. It is still possible. It is still possible. And it would be a great win if they pull this off, to be fair. But they've kind of bottled the chase a little bit. Scorchers have bowled well. Scorchers arguably don't deserve to win this. I think AFL YouTubers will become full-time commentators on Fox Footy. Nah, probably not. Probably not. I don't really know what the future would hold for this growing little micro industry, but I can't see us completely being embedded into mainstream media. I think it'll be a requirement. Here we go. That's another wicket. He did call it Rogie. But maybe I think we would all need to maintain our own platforms. And to some extent, I think combining our talents would probably get us further. There is absolutely no Darcy Moore slander here, Rogie. I like Darcy Moore. I was praising him for his cute response to that. Keira Knightley is a babe, Nyasha. I agree with you there. I was probably more of a Keira Knightley in Pirates of the Caribbean kind of man. He's one of the most likable guys in the company. I agree with that, yeah. Yeah, just good vibes from Darcy. I got you, Rogie. Yeah. No one should, because right now it's very costly. Silly billiards. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, KO has frozen every interesting second. Every interesting frame. Zamp is swinging here. Hey, Brooklyn said rats. I say rats. She's good in Love Actually. Is Keira Knightley in Love Actually? I don't even know if I've ever seen that movie from start to finish. I've just seen like segments. I genuinely don't remember her in that film. There's a lot of people in that film. But yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Keira Knightley. Mwah. One of my other childhood crushes. I didn't really have too many, but Pam from The Office, definitely. Because I was watching The Office as it came out. So I was like 13 in 2006, 12, watching season 2 Pam. My God. Brittany Murphy in Just Married. Oof. Queen. Absolute queen. Zampa might be out here. Nah, let it drop for a single. But that is the game. Victory. Darcy has a rare talent amongst footballers, the ability to seem intelligent and not sound like a robot. That's a fair point, Rogie. Yeah, he does express himself in a fairly unique way. It's fine, Gades is still in this. They just need 2 front foot no balls and a 6 every free hit. That's amazing, Rogie. I'm so pleased to know that people are catching on to the rats thing. It is contagious. It has been contagious throughout the last few years when I started saying it. Like at work, I'll start saying it, and as people also be like, why the hell do you say that? And it's the most satisfying when they start saying it. I got it permeate through work. Like Drewzy says it because of me. Sometimes, obviously, people who watch the channel. It's just so satisfying when people who originally think like it's stupid start saying, rats. I was seeing a girl once who roasted me for it, and then like 4 weeks later, she's like, rats. I was like, yes. It is contagious, and it's a very wholesome curse word. Hayley Williams from Paramore. I vaguely remember her. Goodbye, Renegades. Back at the bottom. No finals. We are shit. Yeah, I mean... This game in isolation is not bad, but obviously the start of the tournament. Max Hansen's very happy about it. Jessica Alba and Salma Hayek are good shout-outs. CEO says, finals, here we come. That's amazing, Brooklyn. I'm so pleased to hear that. That's like the biggest compliment I've received on the channel in a long time. Alright. Yeah, it's unconscious. I should stop saying it on first dates, I've realised that. Because it's kind of weird. Like, I just doing my best to seem like this charming, well-read guy. And then, like, the slightest inconvenience, and I'm like, rats. Any goth girl from an animated show. Interesting. I feel like when I was a very little kid, I had a crush on one of the Powerpuff Girls. So weird how the infantile brain works. What other celebrity crushes as we round out this stream? What other celebrity crushes that I have? Oh, Jessica Simpson. Oh my god. In Employee of the Month. Dukes of Hazzard. Is it? Dukes of Hazards? Dukes of Hazzard. Dukes of Hazards. That's what it's called? Can't remember. Katie Sackhoff in Battlestar Galactica. And that sounds like a fake name. I'm going to Google her. That sounds like a prank name. Oh, yeah. Didn't she marry to that Russian guy, Miov? Jack, I think his first name was. Oh, actually, you know who I am in love with now? Celebrity crushes are rare for me, but oh my god. The blonde Sith girl from Ahsoka. Marry me. I don't usually just follow female celebrities because they're just gorgeous, but she's the exception. My god. I want to hear if anyone's watched Ahsoka and knows who I'm talking about. Oh, I love her. Kim Possible's an interesting one. Cameron Diaz. Ooh, I always kind of found her a little annoying. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Why are we doing this? Who is she? Good looking woman. I feel like sometimes you need to see them. Oh, is that Ewan McGregor's wife? To be fair, Ewan McGregor is also a big man crush of mine. Shin Baddie. Oh, yeah. I can fix her. I can save her from the Sith. Yeah. Save her from his life. It's like the cliche of a man who goes to a strip club and just thinks he can save the women. I can say, you don't have to do this. God. All right, guys. I might leave it there. Save for anyone coming up with some real good nominations for celebrity crushes. Yeah, Shin Baddie. She really is. Just stunningly beautiful. Hauntingly beautiful. It's not even in a perverted way at all. I'm just like, wow, I could look at you all day. Lizzo. I shouldn't laugh. But it did make me laugh. I do like Lizzo's music, to be fair. Some of it. Obviously, some of it's annoying, but like some of it was good. Any of the Pink Power Rangers. Interesting. Not sure I can relate to that one. Yeah. I might call it there, guys. But thank you very much for taking part in another Scorchers live stream. I didn't really intend it just to be Scorchers games. It's just kind of lined up where I'm just like, well, if I have the choice between two ones, and I'll do these every like 3 or 4 days, maybe once a week even. Excuse me, we'll do that. But they're always really good fun. I've really enjoyed doing these live streams. Excuse me. Queen Elizabeth II. I'm more of a King Charles man. Yes, so, and thank you as well to our new members. So we get how many new ones? I think we got 2 new ones in this stream alone, which I really appreciate, guys. So that was Kane and obviously Rogie as well. And shout out Real Swift. I need to shout him out as well in a different video. So thank you very much. Get gated. I don't think that's necessary. We won. Get scorched. But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks, Max. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Rogie, once again. Thank you, Brooklyn. Have a good night, guys. I'm going to go eat, and then I'm going to do some videos for you, and then I'll do a stream probably sometime in the next 7 days, definitely. But yeah, take care. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next one.